Coming up, Ty from Comeuppance is on for his monthly hit as we look at Red Right Hand, the Orlando Bloom Andie MacDowell film from Hulu, and Cash Out, a new Travolta film. Kind of not new, though. I think it was filmed in 2022 or something like that. But Randall Emmett directed Inside Man ripoffs. So stay tuned for those two. And then next week, Scott Murphy from All 90s Action All the Time is back on as we continue his ongoing trip through the oeuvre of one Mr. Steven Seagal. We'll be looking at The Foreigner. So keep an eye out for that next week. And then this Thursday, we're going to take the week off, of course, from DTVC Extra, and then the week after, we're going to start looking at the Rambo films. Hopefully they'll still be on Paramount by the time I start looking at them, but that's the goal. So again, no DTVC Extra this week, but look for that next Thursday. And then in terms of the site, we've got this weekend, we're going to be looking at Click, the pinup killer, I think, or the calendar girl killer. Donna Spear movie. We're getting Donna Spear into the to the Hall of Fame. And then the week after that, we'll look at Lethal Lady's Return to Savage Beach. So that'll be Andy Sedaris' induction post. That will wrap up the month of October for us in terms of the site. Also, that was when we did a recent podcast episode with Chris the Brain from Bulletproof Action. So you can go back and check that one. It was a very recent episode. We only did it last month. But needed to get Sedaris in the Hall of Fame. I guess I could have done Malibu Express as well if I wanted to get him in, but we'll do that one eventually too. So, but that's what we'll be doing in next week. And then when we get into November on the site, we're going to be looking at 2000s DTV sequels of 90s kind of into 2000s thrillers. So we'll be looking at, I just happen to notice that a good chunk of them are available. So we're looking at like Wild Things 2, let's see, Cruel Intentions 2. I just saw Single White Female 2, The Psycho. Amazing one. The screenshot that I pulled for the title screen for that is just the most amazing thing ever. So just, keep an eye out for that. And then Skulls 2. I almost said Scrolls 2. I'm getting Marvel stuff. Skulls 2, that'll be what we finish off with. A couple of Robin Dunns in there. Robin Dunn was a mainstay in these movies. But anyway, I thought it would be kind of a fun exercise to do that for November. But we're going to be starting the month of November with Showdown at the Grand for Dolph's birthday. Got to get a Dolph birthday post in, right? So we'll do that as well. And then in terms of stuff that I've done for other sites. Recently did one with John from After Movie Diner. He posted that he's going to be posting it soon. Soldier and The Kiss, Anna Pacula movie. So keep an eye out for that. So if you subscribe to him on Patreon, you can actually see me. You can see me on video there. But keep an eye out for that. And then we're going to be recording soon again. We'll be doing 2 movies. What are we doing here? Troll. We're going to be doing Troll, Michael Moriarty film with Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Andy Travis from WKRP's in that one, so that was a fun conversation, or that fun one. And then what was the other one? Delta Heat, old DTV kind of TV movie kind of thing with Anthony Edwards and Lance Henriksen. So another interesting one there for sure. But keep an eye out for that. So those will be on the After Movie Diner podcast. So if you're subscribed on his Patreon, you'll catch them every time, and you'll get to see me with my Moxie hat and all of that. And then Bulletproof Action is doing a Van Damme celebration. And so I was asked to contribute, and I was happy to be able to do that, to contribute 90s movies. So like kind of we ranked Van Damme's 90s movies, and then each of us got to do a blurb on one. So I did my blurb on Double Team because big Dennis Rodman fan. I'm a huge fan of him. So had to do Double Team. I for a second I thought that was the only Van Damme film I'd seen in the theater, but actually I remember at least seeing Street Fighter in the theater. I think I may have even seen like Double Impact or something like. There's some other ones that I think I saw. But anyway, so just. Keep an eye out for that as well. So you should be subscribed to Bulletproof Action on all your socials, so you'll see right when it comes up, when it's there. But keep an eye on my socials as well, because I'll post about it for sure too. I think that's everything. So why don't we have John Cross from After Movie Diner playing our theme song here when we come back? Ty from Comeuppance is on. We'll be looking at Red Right Hand. All right, welcome back to the DTVC podcast. As always, this is Matt here, and I am joined once again by Ty from Comeuppance. Welcome back, Ty.
Hey, thanks for having me back on again for another monthly wackiness roundup.
Yes, exactly. And for people listening, it's going to be a little further between episodes because what happened last month was I was doing Deadly Prey with Todd Liebenow, and then discovered that Bulletproof was also doing Deadly Prey, and I was like, well, I can't have them be at this. It would have been like 1 week after. Essentially, our Deadly Prey would have.
Good.
So I was like, and you and I had just recorded for God, what was the Philippi Factory? We just on the Philippi Factory. So I slotted that in as the first one of the month of September. So because usually I put your appearance in the middle of the month, just because.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because because you're going to be on every month. It kind of just works out. It kind of works in the middle there. But but it also kind of worked out too that it was like, well, I needed to move it. So, but for people listening, it'll be like about 6 weeks between appearances. So
That's a long time, actually.
Yeah.
Long time between these Trump impressions. Okay.
Exactly. Right. They haven't heard them. I know.
They're running for president. They're running for president.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. I guess the next time you'll be on, because this one's airing in the middle of October. I guess the next one will be the middle of November. We'll know what'll happen with the election. Yeah. We'll know. So it's kind of crazy to think about it that way.
Might not win. I know in the last episode we talked about me being Santa Claus.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's not giving anything away. Right. He's.
Yeah, this is the Philippi Factory episode.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this one here is going to be. We tried to. We didn't go with a Willis, but we kind of went back to our roots with a Randall Emmett, Travolta one with our second movie, Cash Out. Which the guys on DTV Digest did cover quickly, and it sounded like it was going to be a good one for our podcast. But I guess we'll
get
see.
to it. Well, give me a little bit of a heads up. Not great. So
no. Yeah, it was a rough set. Now the other one we watched, I think we were just thinking the idea of an Orlando Bloom direct to streaming movie was so fascinating that we had to watch it. We didn't realize it was like an hour and 50 minutes and a little bit better quality than what we usually discuss on here.
I was surprised at the quality. It was high quality.
Exactly.
Well, we needed that because Do Justice was Dud Justice and Blowback and Blowback,
Right, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's not like Red Right Hand's going to be a perfect one, but it's like the production value of Red Right Hand. I don't remember the last time we saw it. It would have probably been a Jesse V. Johnson movie. Would have been the last time we would have seen, like maybe White Elephant was the last time we saw a movie that had this.
Good. And I mean, you want to count the System, or is that still kind of mildly low rent?
Oh, you know what? No, you're right. The System was the System's interesting, right? Because it was like low production but great performances.
Yeah, they really put their effort into that, as you know, JP, Jerry Pitt.
Yeah. Right. Ed Tyrese, who, I mean, we thought, okay, well, let's watch him again in Bloodline Killer, and not so much.
Bloodline Killer. I really actually forgot about Bloodline Killer. Please.
Right, same here. We only did that 2 episodes ago. It feels like it was forever ago.
I literally forgot about it. I'm like, oh, right.
Yeah.
Bloodline Killer. Yeah.
Yeah, I should have reminded you. It's funny. It's like when my friends and I, when we saw Iggy Pop in concert in the early 2000s, the opening act was horrible. And Iggy Pop was so good that we forgot there was an opening act. It was like somebody else brought it up after, and we're like, oh, that's right. I forgot about them. So, yeah, it's kind of the same idea, right? It's that Bloodline Killers. Like, we got it out of our system so much that we forgot that it happened.
Do you remember the other movie now? See, that my memory is terrible.
It was the one with, it was the Killer, or it was like Final Kill. It was the one with,
it was
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane. Yeah, Billy Zane and Dr. Drew Pinsky.
Exactly. That was the other one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
When's he going to come back? It'd be great if he has just a movie career after he just takes a break from being a doctor.
I know.
I thought he looks the same. That guy does not age.
No.
Same from Loveline. I can't do Adam Carolla impression.
Right, exactly.
But that guy does repeat himself a lot. I won't.
Well, I was going to say, when you see things on YouTube, do you ever get the ad with Dr. Drew with like this big like thing of like supposed to be like fat or something? It's supposed to like, if you take this supplement, you'll lose weight, and he's like flexing and stuff and everything.
I might have seen that. You ever see these fake ads? Like it's like you see like a fake Oprah like talking about like a weight loss drug, but your mouth is like that, and you have to go down like 3 times. It's like, all right, skip ad. It's just like.
Well, the one I saw with Oprah was she was giving away a free set of La Crusade pots and pans, and I was like, Oprah is not just giving, and it didn't even sound like Oprah. Like the voice was something else, and I was like, Oprah's not giving away Le Creuset pots. Nobody's giving away Le Creuset pots and pans. Like they're worth hundreds of dollars. Like there's nobody doing
You
that.
must like lend out her like likeness or something, and then you could just so instead of Oprah, I'd be like Dolph Lundgren is the voice of Oprah. So it's like you gotta get these pots and pans. I guess the shit over. So it's like they could just do that, Well, what a springboard for these shoehorn impressions I could sneak in. But
I know. Well, I'm thinking also too. We haven't done a no subject for a while on your podcast. That might be a good one. Dolph Lundgren giving out his voice to all these celebrities who are doing like clickbait ads.
that's a great idea because we had a similar idea, with what was the title? Oh, I forget the title.
Voice swap.
Voice swap with him and wow, Owen C. Wilson. Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't checked out Owen C. Wilson lately. Is he? I know he's on Loki, but I don't have Disney Plus. Did you watch that show?
No, I'm behind on those things. So I'm doing like a Marvel, an MCU rewatch, and right now I'm on to Black Panther. So it's like I'm rewatching ones that I had seen before, and then watching ones new that I hadn't seen. So I guess it'd be like what Black Panther, and then is it Infinity War, which I've seen, but I haven't. And there's one of them I haven't seen in that group. Oh, it's the Ant-Man one, I think, and then the Spider-Man one that comes after Endgame.
That's the one of Jake Gyllenhaal, or the one with
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That's the because Michael Keaton was the one before that where he played
He was good in that, Michael Keaton.
I was gonna say he's fantastic.
Yeah, he stole the whole movie from it. Well, it's easy to steal.
Right.
It's just like all the villains steal from these Spider. Well, because Spider-Man has to be Spider-Man. He can't kind of be all wacky and stuff.
Right.
So, but Michael Keaton or Willem Dafoe or other ones of other. I remember other villains.
Well, you had Alfred Molina, who, he was. People were joking that he had man boobs, but I think he was, he was a fun Dr. Octopus for sure. I mean, Topher Grace as Venom was an interesting one. I think he was cast mostly because he looks like a poor man's Tobey Maguire, right?
That's funny. Yeah, that's a good point. So they needed him.
Right.
What's with these Venom movies now? I mean, like I haven't watched any of them.
Me neither. No, I'm going to. So the first one is on Disney Plus. So that's probably how I'm going to watch that one. I think the second one is on this thing called FX Now, which if you get Comcast cable, I think you can. Yeah. So I think you can do it on demand. I think it's commercials. So that's the only thing.
Okay. It's not edited for this broadcast. It's actually like the
that's a good question. That I don't know. It might be.
Oh, mine's. Oh yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, no, I was gonna say I don't know exactly how it works for those because it's essentially like if FX would be airing it on TV, you're doing it on demand instead. So they might edit out the swearing. I was trying to think for the Fast and Furious ones because I saw some of those on there, and I want to say that maybe they did. I guess it depends. I guess it depends on how it works.
Well, they don't bleep out any of the families that Vin Diesel it says nonstop.
Right? Exactly.
All right, let's go break on the families in this edited version.
Yeah.
But remember this thing on FX? It was called DVD on TV, and it was hosted by Dave Holmes, from MTV.
Oh yes.
And they just showed the movie. I think they showed Behind Enemy Lines once or something. It's mostly Fox movies. And then they showed some of the features. I didn't really watch the full program, but I was like, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, because they had a few of those, right? Because they had that one. They had the one with Steven Sharippa and Howard Stern's wife, where it was like gambling in a movie. It was there was like it was like something like cocktail hour or something in a movie, and then there was dinner in a movie, right? That was another one I think they did. Yeah.
That was what, Annabelle Gurwitch?
Right, that's right. Yes.
But I can't remember the guy's name for the life of me, but that was a name.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And she shit like. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say she has a great documentary on Tubi. I don't know if it's still on Tubi, but it was about when she tried to do a Woody Allen movie and got fired. I guess Woody Allen couldn't stand her voice or something, and so then she did this whole thing about talking to people about getting fired, and some of the stories that she got, like talking to famous actors who got fired for doing things. One of them was Fred Willard. I can't remember, obviously he's no longer with us, but apparently there was a TV show that they thought he did that he didn't do. So he got cast for this sitcom, and they were talking about it, like, oh, this is be old hat because you did whatever. And he's like, no, that wasn't me. And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I wish I could remember what show it was because it was hilarious. He was just like, "No, it was like something like MASH or something, like something big." But he was like, "No, I wasn't on MASH. I don't know if it wasn't MASH, but it was something like that." And
It wasn't after MASH, was it?
it was something like if it wasn't MASH, it was like something that was big in the 80s, I think. And he was like, "No, that wasn't me. I didn't do that show." And then they let him go because they thought he was like supposed to
That's a
be
weird
like
way of getting
doing this,
the boot.
that same character or something. Yeah.
And he was on that show about the puppets, right? It's like I never watched it, like Political Follies, or I
Oh,
was good.
DC Follies. Oh
DC
yeah.
Follies, yeah. I
Yeah.
always wanted to watch that. Here's it had the puppets from Land of Confusion, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Um, and then if anyone's seen the video of that Genesis, Ronald Reagan, well,
Right.
blowing up the world, Nancy.
Right.
Uh-oh. It's like
Yeah. Yeah.
ahead of
He
his time.
wakes up and he's like, "Which one?" Yeah, they were kind of prescient on the whole Alzheimer's thing. They were, I
Yeah.
think, that was already out there. I guess it was one of those things that was probably more
Yeah.
like people understood it behind the scenes than
Right.
it was. It wasn't as well known, I guess, as as it eventually became.
Well, Genesis was always on the pulse,
That's right. Yes. I had the
Yeah.
Disturbed version of that song. They
Oh,
covered.
I've heard that version too. I think it's like, yeah, but I like both versions. I know people.
Yeah,
Do people like Disturbed still, or is that disturbing to say? It's just like
that's a good question. Yeah, because they've kind of fallen off quick, right? It didn't take long.
well,
But
there's Kill Switch Engage. That's a band, right? So it's like, you've heard of them?
I haven't heard of Killswitch Engage, so that sounds great.
That's an amazing name for a band. I don't know any other songs,
Yeah.
but I mean, like I've heard of the band name. Well, when it comes to Genesis, they have some good songs though. Was Atlantic? What was it? Invisible Touch.
Invisible Touch. Yeah.
Great song.
Yeah.
An invisible touch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not hold of your heart. Yeah.
Right. And then the video they had, like, Phil Collins was singing into his drumsticks because I think he was like just moving into being a singer, and it's like one of those things. Same thing like with the Carpenters when Karen Carpenter was a drummer. I guess you can't have your lead singer be your drummer. I guess it's okay for like parts of songs like was it the Romantics? What I Like About You. You can do it for parts of songs, but for the most part, if your drummer is your singer, the singer has to stop drumming. That's the rule because they have to be in front. They got to be in front of the stage, walking around with the microphone.
Didn't know that one. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and because Phil Collins, he was in movies. Let's not forget about. What's the title? Remember, Buster.
Yes.
And the other one, I think it was called like, I can't remember that one, but it made another one. It was like a Vidmark movie or something.
Well, right, and then he was
Right?
Phil the Shill on a Miami Vice episode.
Yeah, he's a great actor, Philip Collins. And then made fun of him in South Park was funny. It's like,
Right.
remember that? Isn't
Oh
it?
yeah.
It's I don't mind Phil Collins. He's pretty talented.
Yeah. His daughter, I think his daughter is on a Netflix show.
Is it Lily Collins? Is
Lily
it
Collins. Yeah. That's his daughter. Yeah.
Oh, Emily in Paris, which I hear is very frustrating to watch because it's her doing a bunch of selfies, like in Paris. Hi guys, it's me, Lily. I'm in Paris. It's like, there's a bunch of heart emojis when you're doing those Instagram lives.
Oh yeah.
Kids today. A whole movie of what Thanksgiving is, with Patrick Dempsey. So it's just like John Carver is the killer, and he's like, he basically says, "Hi guys, I am on Instagram Live." It's like, wait a second, it's supposed to be an evil killer.
Right.
That's what it is. It's hilarious. It's terrible. I get it. I get what you're doing there, Eli Roth. I really get it. But you done goofed up because you did it too far away from the last thing.
Yeah.
I think I made fun of that last time. But yeah,
the Eli Roth effect. Oh yeah, what do you? Yeah, I guess we could move.
Keep going.
I was gonna say, yeah. Speaking of Eli Roth, we could move into the. What have you been watching lately?
Sure. I watched something for the website, which I'll probably plug later, which is Prepare to Die. It's a Tubi original, and it has Lorenzo Lamas, as people call him.
No way.
Michael. It's about like this guy who looks a lot like Justin Long, like an angrier, more bulked up Justin. And his parents get killed by Lorenzo Lamas. This is part of the plot, not a spoiler.
Yeah.
And he's out for revenge. And it's an odd movie. We actually touched upon it we have a podcast coming up with Richard Pierce.
Oh, yes.
And we mentioned it a little bit. And he said, "What the heck is that?" And it's very weird. I will check it out, though, for the weirdness factor.
Yeah.
Lorenzo Lamas is fantastic. And he goes like, yes, yeah, okay, kill him. No, yes. It's like in that Lorenzo Lamas voice you all love and enjoy.
Yeah. No, I have to watch this now because I've been
Yeah.
meaning to do some of Lamas's newer stuff. He's kind of stuck on like 35 movies, I think, on the site.
Oh,
Um,
interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
he's stuck there for a while. Same with us. I think we haven't done Lamas in ages. So
yeah,
it's a good performance by Lamas. It's a good villain role for him.
yeah.
Uh, and Michael Madsen, he's not really in it much, but it's funny to see him because he looks kind of haggard.
Hmm.
It's like, that's basically what he's like. I'm a sheriff, wearing a hat. It's like wearing a hat. It's like, give me more money, Lorenzo Lamas. I want a Cadillac. It's like, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Really,
'cause-
his performance is very odd. There's a part in the beginning when you first see him. I won't give it
yeah.
away. Maybe it looks a little fake, but you'll see.
Okay. All right.
But
Perfect.
it's great. It's great.
Yeah, because I was gonna say we're kind of at that point with someone like a Lamas, because I know you were saying to me you were like about like Sector 4 Extraction, like I don't know if I want to watch it or if I should watch it. It's kind of like we're at that point with these guys whether it's Gruner or Lamas or obviously Dolph or where it's like you almost have to watch the movie they did just to watch it, like whether it's good or bad, right? It doesn't matter. It's almost like because you can get a review out of it, but also it's almost like you feel like you got to watch all of them from these guys now.
An amazing point because, like,
Yeah,
let's bring them back. They're coming back, slowly come back with some goofy stuff, some garbages or whatever. Let's watch them.
yeah,
I'm happy
exactly.
they're coming back.
Yes, yeah,
Well, Madsen's but it was really nice to see Lamas again. He looks the same. He did some action. It was kind of garbagey, of course, but I'd still check it out.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I
really good
definitely.
point there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like it looks like he does a voice on Phineas and Ferb. That's like one of the things that literally here, don't need to watch that probably necessarily. But
Yeah.
I mean, so much of the stuff here that he's got. I mean, yeah, Prepare to Die is one. There's one that's kind of been floating. I've seen on Tubi as well. He has a few on Tubi
Oh,
Tubi.
yeah, two. Okay.
Tubi.
It's said to get his special so bad on Netflix or two big.
So, yes. Yeah, for people who don't remember that, I can't remember what episode it was, but we were talking about Cat Stevens, right, when he was on
Cat
Club
Williams.
Shay Shay. Um,
Cat Williams, you mean?
Cat
Right?
Williams. Who's Cat Stevens? Cat Stevens is a singer.
He's a singer. He's a singer that he has like a beard or something, like
Right,
rapping.
exactly, right. Yeah, he did all kinds of, yeah. So no, Cat Williams. Yeah, and he was talking about what was it? Cedric the Entertainer, right?
Yeah,
His
exactly. Yeah,
right.
it was
He's
just
like,
funny. Well, that came out like January 2024, so it's almost a year old now.
wow, yeah.
And he said this is going to be the interview of the year, and he's been right about certain things, with Puff Daddy and all that stuff that's going on with him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, right. Yeah, I think he kind of, yeah, like you said. I mean, I'm sure a lot of those people in the biz, because there was an actress recently who said like she was dating an older actor around the time that Diddy was doing those, and she got an invite to one of those parties, and the guy was like, "No, you're not going to that party." And she thought he was being controlling. He was like, "No, just trust me. You don't want to go to that party." So it was like it's kind of like with Cosby, where things were floating around about it. I think people knew about those parties, but it probably showed just how powerful Diddy was. That like people knew about those parties and they just didn't come out and say anything. It was like you didn't want to be the one to like come out against Diddy. I remember he got that guy Shine, the rapper. He got him. He got him sent to jail when there's that shootout at the club in the early 2000s, and Diddy just kind of like, well, yeah, he'll take the fall for me.
Yeah, that's just the beginning, and then I think there's some video, of course, Justin Bieber, don't look, yeah, it's just like, and then you got Meek Mill.
Yeah.
I do Meek Mill.
Oh yeah, here in Philly. He's a Philly area rapper.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, not great for old Meek Mill.
No,
So,
no.
so
Yeah. Cool. Well, I was reading about it that apparently, because this is like the Southern District in New York, the U.S. attorney there who is filing that case and the one against the mayor in New York, Eric Adams, and
okay, he's in trouble.
yeah, and it sounds like it's going to be like, yeah, it's not going to be good for him either. And I guess one of the differences between how he's doing these cases versus how cases used to go, and which, probably it would change. It's going to change like the way these movies that we watch, the way these movies are going to be created. The way that he does it is, instead of going to like the people below him and getting somebody to flip, he is just collecting all of this like electronic data that's out there, like text messages,
Oh,
emails,
that's a
all
gentleman.
that stuff, bank transactions, all of that. So he can get the big fish at the top and then convince people below to flip after the fact, because they see that they've already got the big fish. And so they can
That's a
be like,
good idea.
okay, nobody's going to come and get me after the fact. So, I mean, for these Randall Emmett movies, it's going to, or whatever, these low budget, direct to videos where that's how it works, right? There'd be somebody on the inside who's trying to flip to get the big guy. Yeah, it's going to be a different approach altogether now.
Because I know, everyone says I think Ashton Kutcher is going to be in big trouble. I think it's just like,
yeah.
Well, dude, where's my subpoena or something like that? Exactly. Stop there. I want to leave the podcast. That was probably my best joke.
That was it, dude. Yeah, that's gonna be the headline that TMZ or New York Post or whatever uses. Probably New York Post, right? Because they'll be covering all of this because it's happening there in New York. Dude, it's perfect. So, well,
right there, buddy.
Kind of a bit of a like overlap to this conversation, because even though these movies don't have Ashton Kutcher in them, it's kind of that era of actor. I decided, for speaking of my site, that for November I was going to do, after Dolph's birthday post, which I'll do Showdown at the Grand for the first weekend in November. I was going to do like 2000s DTV sequels of like 90s thrillers. So I was going to do
great idea, by the way.
Yeah, well, the problem is, here's where the problem is. I don't know what your thoughts are on this. So I was going to do Cruel Intentions 2, which I just watched.
Isn't it Amy Adams?
Amy Adams, exactly. Yes, yeah, and of course Robin Dunn, who seems to be in all of these.
I love Robin Dunn in these garbages. It's amazing. He's in all of them.
Isn't he perfect? Yeah, he's great. I mean, the music, they're playing like Thin Lizard Don, who did that song "Sucks Like Oasis," which that was like their one hit. But yeah, that was
well, that's hilarious, because I hear. Oh well, not to cut you off I don't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to add on to the Oasis thing. I guess they're coming to North America.
Yes.
And it says, well, this is the last time we'll be here, so if you love us, you better buy a ticket. It's like, no.
Yeah, I actually saw my very first concert was Oasis in '96,
really?
And I still have the shirt. It's got like a big hole on the side of it, but yeah, I was 17. Because apparently, if you want to get tickets to Oasis, I was reading about this, because the whole dynamic Ticketmaster pricing thing was a big mess in the UK, so they decided to do away with it for the US ones. And I guess to be on the priority list, you've got to say how many concerts you've been to of Oasis. And you've got to be able to say when the last time they performed here in America was, to be able, as opposed to just being like you sit on your phone and just kind of keep refreshing.
You have to answer like trivia questions about your life.
Right. Well, because if you're a big enough fan, you know this stuff, I guess, is what it is. If you're a big enough Oasis fan, this stuff should be right off the top of your head. You'd know how many concerts you've been. I don't know if Oasis doesn't have like I guess Jimmy Buffett, now it's a different thing now he's passed away. But I know with Jimmy Buffett fans, like there's people that will they go to the concerts and they have a number written on their shoulder that says how many concerts they've been to of his.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's interesting. But you're telling me about Cruel Intentions 2. Yeah. So Amy Adams at her best. And then Robin Dunn. And then you watched something else, right?
So then I watched Wild Things 2. So get to do the Wild Things sequel. So you've got Susan Ward, Lila
Arcieri, and Isaiah Washington.
Is Isaiah Washington? Yeah, exactly. So the other one I had picked, I had two other ones picked. One of them is going to be the Single White Female sequel from 2008 with Kristen Miller.
Brooke Burns.
And Brooke, yes, exactly. So I've got that one, and then I was going to do American Psycho 2. And the thing about it that I was thinking about, maybe I don't want to do American Psycho 2, is one, American Psycho came out in 2000, right? Where these other ones came out in the 90s. And then also it's kind of not, I guess it fits enough, right? But it's a little bit different than these movies. And I was trying to think of another one to do, but I don't know. Like I thought the Skulls sequel might be a little, that would.
Because I think even Robin Dunn, is he in one of those? He might be in Skulls 2.
He's in Skulls 2, and he's also in American Psycho 2. So Robin Dunn is.
Yeah, you can't go wrong. You need to do a Robin Dunn-a-thon.
I know, I can do it the whole Robin Dunn month, exactly.
Yeah, Robin Dunn month. Yeah, I love it. Robin Dunn month.
Yeah,
so that's perfect. Yeah, I would choose the Skulls. American Psycho 2 it's an odd movie. It's very it was got William Shatner,
Yeah.
and it's a weird performance. He looks fairly bloated and red faced in it. Or it's like, whoa, you don't look too good, man.
Right.
And then Mila Kunis is Mila Kunis, but it's a weird movie. I still check it out though. But yeah, but Skulls 2 probably fits better with your idea.
That's what I was thinking. And even though that one came out in 2000 as well, it's like close enough to that,
So
like
close.
that. Yeah. So yeah, I thought I had done Skulls 3 for the site, but I didn't see it on the critic reviews when I looked at the
Oh,
IMDb
interesting.
page for it. So yeah, it
Well,
may have been, I feel like I remember doing one of those. Maybe I did Skulls 2, actually. Maybe I already did that one and I just didn't.
oh, you did. Okay, I'll have to look at your archive. There's all
Yeah.
these Sony things or Universal sequels. You got your Hitcher 2. You
That one
got
I
your
did do. That one I did
yeah.
cover. Yeah, with Jake
I
Busey,
got a
who
story
yes,
from Jake Busey because I met him.
yes. What are
At,
we? Yeah, well, maybe this is a good segue into that. Is
yeah.
yeah, because yeah, no, I looked on there. Yeah, I don't see that Skulls 2 or Skulls 3 on critic reviews for me. So yeah, so I think yeah, so maybe Skulls 2 is a better bet. I think for this.
Well, you
If I
can
can
still watch
find it
it.
too.
It's not on the streamers.
I don't know. Because so one of the things is like if it's available to rent, I can rent it. But it
Oh,
looks like it might not because it's not available to rent on Amazon at least. So
oh.
yeah, I'll have to I'll have to fish around and see. Yeah, because it used to be right back in the old Netflix disc days, right? That these were easy finds back then.
Yeah, I found like the triple set like at a Goodwill, so I have all three now
Oh,
of this,
nice.
and I have all three of the Cruel Intentions, also, and then I have all the Wild Things. So there's four of those, and
Yes.
then
Yeah, those
two
are all
Hollow.
on Tubi. The only problem is by the time people listen to this, they won't
Mhm.
be on Tubi.
Oh, they're
Because
going away. It's
they're
like
going away.
2 days
That's
later.
why I watched it last night, even though I'm not going to be reviewing it for a while.
Oh, you rushed through it. I understand.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like I
I
can rent it on YouTube if I want to. So okay, so that's not a big deal. Then
oh,
yeah,
okay. So
Skulls too. So yeah, so that's probably a bit. I think you're right because that's because I was going to watch the originals too because I think the original Wild Things is on Netflix and I think the original Cruel Intentions is on one of the streamers,
oh,
and
okay.
so because I could compare it
Oh,
because when I was watching Cruel Intentions 2, I was like, man, I don't really remember the first one as much as I thought I did because I'd
mhm.
forgotten that Robin Dunn is essentially playing Ryan Phillippe in the
Yeah.
um,
Talk about the Philippi factory right there. He actually
yeah,
plays Ryan Phillippe's
right,
character. Like that's
exactly.
who.
Yeah. Well, because I read that it was supposed to be a TV show on
Yeah,
Fox,
Manchester Prep. I remember
right?
that.
And I guess it was because there was too much sex going on. Like especially there's
Yeah,
that scene where the girl, I can't remember her name. She plays like a freshman, even though she was a year older than me. She was born in '78, so she would have been like in her mid 20s when she was shooting, or early 20s when she was doing that
yeah,
scene. But she's supposed to be a freshman. She's supposed to be like 14 or 15 years old, and she essentially like dry humps a horse and has an orgasm, right? And so
yeah. That part. Yeah.
yeah, and I guess Rupert Murdoch saw that and lost his mind, and they were like, "That's it. No, we're not doing that show."
Well, he took that scene for later, but I mean, just like,
Right?
yeah, I remember. I think because we did have some Cruel Intentions mania, kind of,
Mhm.
back in the late or the '90s, or I guess it was late 1999,
Yeah,
and it's a good. Cruel Intentions one's pretty good. You got Sarah Michelle Gellar, probably at her best role ever.
yeah,
I know people say Buffy, but no, this is really good. Really good performance, and Selma Blair, of course, and of course Ryan Phillippe.
yeah,
So, and
yeah.
it's
Well,
good.
and I guess
Briefly,
they
Tara
got
Reid.
right, and then also Reese Witherspoon. They
Oh
were
yeah,
looking for someone to play her part, and then when they were talking to Philippi about it, he's like, "Well, my girlfriend might be interested," and so that's how she got in the film, and she was great as well.
yeah, it was really good. And yeah, Tara Reid. She's only in it for like the first like few minutes. If you we haven't seen in a while, but I watched in the past 2 years. Cruel Intentions. I might have the poster somewhere too. Um, because the trailer is always. I don't know if you watched the trailer to Cruel Intentions recently. It's like the most it's the perfect '90s thing
It is,
because
yeah,
you have your what is this the Smith song How
yeah,
Soon Is Now.
right,
So it's like it's perfect because there's this great like trailer shot of Sarah Michelle Gellar like looking evil above a pool while How Soon Is Now is playing. It's perfect. And
yes,
like I just like I love these '90s trailers because you can do that kind of cool stuff. And it's a really good song in the movie too. Coming Up From Behind from Marcy Playground.
Oh, right. Yes.
If you
Yes.
remember, yeah, it's a good song. It's good. Joshua Jackson, your buddy from the Skulls One. I think that song plays when he's hanging around. What's this new Joshua Jackson program? Dr. Odyssey. Have you seen?
Right. He's like, is this like a serious version of Captain Stubby from The Love Boat?
That's what it seems like. That's amazing. That's a great description.
Yeah.
I hear it's. I mean, I hear. I bet it's like barely watchable, but
Yeah.
Joshua Jackson. He was just on. He was Doctor Death. It was a high quality miniseries. Did you ever watch that? It's on Peacock.
No, I've been meaning to because yeah, I think it's kind of cool to see Joshua Jackson sort of in this new phase of his career where he's doing these kinds of roles.
Yeah, it's a great performance. Maybe his best role, Doctor
Yeah.
Death. Of course, that's Christian Slater. So because he's an Alec Baldwin, and it's good. I definitely recommend it. Well, also because he has Christian Slater. But when did you watch? Did you watch Hollow Man 2 for your idea? Well, Hollow Man 1 came out in 2000.
I think I reviewed Hollow Man 2 already on the site as well. I'll have to check. I got to check because it's I'm at that point now where I can't remember. I mean, the Skulls 2, it just seems so familiar. I feel like I did do that one, but and I know Skulls 3 has the young woman who joins the Skulls.
I remember that. I know the second one might have Barry Bostwick.
Yes, it does. Yeah, second or third one, or maybe even both. You never know. Like both. Yeah.
Well, who's that? There's a Barry Bostwick, and then there's great. It's the guy from Diplomatic Immunity, Bruce Boxleitner. I get their people mixed up.
Yeah, the Boxleitner. Yeah.
What a great last name.
I know.
It's like Sleitner. That's really cool.
I know. No, he was. I mean, obviously, Babylon 5 is the thing, but even before Babylon 5, I think he was on like the Fall Guy. Was that the show he did?
Well, I know that was Lee Majors. He was also on the Fall Guy.
I think he was like how like the Fall Guy would work, where you'd have like I can't remember the actress's name, the blonde woman. But it would be like they would go and like look for things or go like get clues and stuff while Lee Majors was doing other stuff, and then they'd all come back together.
I only seen the first season of the Fall Guy.
Yeah,
it's hard to find the other seasons on DVD. They might be on streamers.
They used to be. I don't know if they are anymore, but they were for a period. Like all of those shows, all of those 80s, action kind of shows, and even some of the 70s ones were all on streamers, and they've just sort of disappeared for whatever reason.
I would like to watch more Fall Guy. I enjoyed this show. I watched that Ryan Gosling movie. I hear it's just kind of the most PG-13 media movie I've ever seen.
Right.
Like, why would I waste my time? I mean,
yeah.
I don't. It's not really. I hear it's just more of a romance movie, which is fine, I guess. But I thought maybe there'd be a villain or something. It's like he's not making these. I hear he's not going to make any like weird movies anymore. The Goster. Because he's a family man. He can't make these movies like Drive or Only God Forgives anymore.
Yeah.
He's making happy movies, which is fine. But if this movie, the Fall Guy had a real villain, and it was more like an action comedy, like a Beverly Hills Cop or something like that. Oh no, the guy from Beverly Hills Cop, he died. I just heard that. John.
Oh yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because I was thinking that might be the next solo podcast thing I do after I finish Die Hard is maybe the Beverly Hills Cops, and it's like, he passed. Yeah.
I like the new one that was on Netflix. I
haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I've been meaning to see it.
So much.
Yeah.
It's like an actual movie, unlike the other mediocre machines that Netflix puts out, like Damsel, as I keep making fun of. But just you watch that, like, no, why?
Yeah.
No, just be better. It's like, don't let the dragon talk. Which we were talking about. I think last podcast we talk about Dragonheart 3 and Ben Kingsley. I don't want to repeat my my material, but it's like I guess I have my own material. But
yeah,
what's your interest in this Fall Guy movie? I know you're gonna watch it, or
I mean, probably at some point. Maybe I think it's on Peacock now. So I may, but I've got so many other things I want to watch before it, though. Right? Like there's just I mean, I like you were talking about the Venoms. I want to catch up on the Venoms before for the new one because that's so. Oh, well, just to mention, because I forgot to mention, our spotlight line of fight is going to be the Blade end fight
Oh
scene,
yeah,
and
I forgot about that.
I think when this episode comes out for a lot of people, it'll be the same day that I'm going to see Blade in the theater. I mean, I did see it when it came out in the theater in '98, but then it's playing locally here at the Ritz in Philadelphia on October 15th, which is the date that this podcast is dropping. Probably the 14th is when I'll probably put it, or something like that. But yeah,
Okay.
that idea. Oh no. The 16th is yeah. So it's going to be one of those 2 days, 15th or 16th. But yeah. So I got to see Blade in the theater. But so it's like all these things are piling up, and it's like, man, the Fall Guys just like keeps getting pushed way down the list, right? It's like of so many other things that I want to watch. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that's not going to be probably watched for a fair amount of time. I mean, like not probably even this year.
Right.
Did I exactly care enough right now? So
Right. Exactly.
I
Yeah.
want to care. Really wanted to care because we all loved Ryan Gosling and Barbie from last year, and I'm assuming you watched Barbie.
No, I haven't seen that one yet either. So you can see how far down the list the Fall Guy is. I still haven't even caught Barbie yet. Yeah.
Oh no, Barbie's good.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's fun in it. It's probably it's a good movie. It's a quality movie. Barbie. There's like obviously some stupid parts, but the stupid has been pretty tamped down in it, and it's like, oh, okay. I was surprised how it wasn't stupid. It was kind of like Baywatch when I watched all the Baywatches this past spring.
Yes.
Like, the show, it really wasn't that stupid. Yes, it only has 4 good episodes, like really good ones, but overall, the Tweed one was good, as I think I mentioned.
Yes. Yeah.
I got the Tweed Baywatch episode.
Yeah, Shannon Tweed, and she's going to make it. Her appearance on anything is going to make it better.
That is true. And I watched that show called First and 10. Do you remember the show? It was a sports program on HBO.
Yes. Is that available? Is that available to watch?
I found DVD. I think I found the first season.
Okay.
And it was O.J. Simpson and
Right.
John Matuzak. I mean, there's not many laughs, but I mean, it's kind of cool to see these people. That's what they usually did in the HBO comedy. Dream On, I'm assuming doesn't have many laughs, but that's really hard to find nowadays.
Yeah, it seems like those early HBO ones are not like either they're not made available on, like HBO Max doesn't have any of them, so you can't. There's no Dream On there. There's no Real Sex or any of that kind of stuff. So none of that stuff's on. Yeah,
that was a weird program. It's like you have like these 60-year-olds like doing these kind of special kind of, well, I'll just say it, orgy. It's like, oh no, no.
Yeah,
where's Tweed? Oh. This is the real version.
right, exactly.
No wonder they call it that.
Yeah.
Like, at least I didn't see that creepy Hims commercial. Well, actually, there was no Tubi. We watched these. We were both on Hulu.
On Hulu, right?
The movie.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Usually there's the Tubi commercials, and this time on, because I don't know about you, we have the ad-free version of Hulu. So,
same. I don't take ads on Hulu.
Yeah.
Remember it was Hulu Plus.
Because Hulu Plus, right? That has like live programming, I guess.
Oh no! Oh, I remember when it was just called Hulu Plus.
Right.
This is so stupid, but if you go all the way back to my old Instagram page, I used to just put up funny pictures, and there's a picture of just Ian Ziering, like,
nice.
it just said now 2-0 watch online, but if you look closely, it says Hulu Plus. Like, oh yeah, Hulu Plus. It's funny. He's like, Ian Ziering. He's in a movie. He's gonna be. We're gonna go to the next convention. Oh wait, we never got to Jake Busey, by the way.
Yeah, so that's a good point. Yeah, before we get in the movies, you recently was it Terracon that you were at that Jake Busey was at, or was that a different one?
At the Connecticut Horror Convention.
Okay.
So, to make a long story short about Jake Busey, so I asked him to get my Roadhouse 2 sign, which he did. He signed it, and he had all these wacky stories about everything. Like, oh man, that was the best time of my life, man. It's like hanging out with those 2 chicks in the hot tub. That was pretty good, man. And like my girlfriend was watching me shoot that scene. I couldn't be very fresh, And then that was funny. And he said, I asked him about Black Cat Run because, like, well, I had a long conversation with him. It's like, And he's like, yeah, I had a back problem making that. I didn't really want to make it. I didn't really like making that one. And it's like, yeah, it was okay, I guess. I had a back problem. I had to be on a gurney while I was shooting it. It's like, oh, really? Didn't know that. It was just like, so I just feel bad that he had some back issue. And then he also said that his knees hurt when I talked to him. It was like, oh, he must have a lot of issues. It's like, poor Jake. And I got this other information, which is, well, I was talking to Jake Beasley because I was also waiting for the Dina Meyer line to kind of get lower.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Jake Beasley for a little bit. And it ran really long. It's like, I want to meet my Dina Meyer. I'll get to her in a second. Was it say? Yeah, so I asked him about the Hitcher too. So yeah, that was kind of fun to make, but Kari Word, she wasn't very cool. She was kind of mean. And she spit in my face. It's like, she did? And it's like, oh, it's like, oh no, Kari Word bashing.
Yeah.
And I never want to work with her again. It's like, and that was hilarious. And then I asked him about almost everything that wasn't Starship Troopers, any of his normal material.
Yeah.
But I asked him about some movie called Time Bomb. He was like a soldier. Like, yeah, Time Bomb. Where'd you watch that? It's like, YouTube. Oh, okay, YouTube. Yes. Oh, I asked about Captain McNasty too.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah. What did you say about that?
So he said, yeah, it was funny to make that for about a year. Yeah. And it's like, it was just fun to make. It was one of the best times of my life again. You know, it's like, yeah, it's a good times of his life making shots of McNasty and Roadhouse too.
Right.
He was fun. He was an interesting guy to talk to. And he's like, you remind me of a friend of mine. It's like, oh, thanks.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he was cool. Dina Meyer, I think I might have mentioned this via message.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was fun. Because I gave her Unspeakable, the DVD, and I have that pic. I showed you that picture of her looking bewildered.
Right. She's trying to make sense of it. Yes, that's awesome.
And to make a long story short about that one, she was kind of making fun of. You've seen the movie, right? Unspeakable.
I don't think I have.
Oh, everyone says that. No one's ever seen it, but it's just like. But it's worth watching because it's kind of weird. She's the main character. She's trying to like figure out the mind of like this weird serial killer played by an actor, or I guess actor. His name is Pavan Grover. But he wasn't really an actor. He was like a doctor.
Oh, okay.
Movie. Somehow he got this money to get Dina Meyer, Dennis Hopper, Jeff Fahey, Lance Henriksen. And she says she shot in 12 days. I'm like, oh, really? I almost couldn't tell. You know, it looked like a real movie. And then she said, yeah, that was kind of interesting to make. And then, but Dennis Hopper's hilarious in the movie. So you should definitely check out Unspeakable.
Yeah.
He's just yelling and screaming. He's like the evil warden. It's really funny.
That's awesome.
And then I asked her about I See You, because I had to ask you about I See You, the Stallone movie.
Oh, yeah.
So, but she was very nice and easy to talk to. So I kind of snuck in my Stallone impression. So I was like, it's like, then she did an impression. Like,
did she? Oh,
yeah, that was the best part. She was just so nice. She's like, and she showed us a picture of her shooting the movie with Stallone on her phone. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let me show you.
That's right. You mentioned that. Yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
Oh, she didn't have to show her phone. Well, she's like, yeah. Also, here's a picture of me and Denise Richards. Like, oh right, Starship Troopers. Right. I completely forgot about Starship Troopers talking to Jake Busey and Dina Meyer. I did other stuff. It's just like because when you go to their table, you can usually like choose like a 6x10 picture of them. They can sign it for whatever how much money it is, or you can sign your own thing. But it was all Starship Troopers for Dina, I think.
Yeah.
So,
but that makes sense.
Yeah, she was very nice. And then Michael Ironside, I told you all about that stuff. That was hilarious. The thing about Red Scorpion too. That's ever. It's just like, oh, Extreme Honor. I asked about Extreme Honor, right?
Oh, right. He didn't remember it.
Yeah, he was like, "What the F is that?" He was so grumpy and funny. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
And he did that funny face for me for Red Scorpion too.
Right.
And Billy Work was also great. He was really funny. So, Jason Patrick could have been better.
Right.
Could have been a bit more. You know, if you're spending this inordinate amount of money to get my Narc poster signed, could have been a little chattier. Right. So next time he comes by, I'm gonna buy Speed 2 on VHS and embarrass him. So that's my goal. That's exactly Jason Patrick. No, he was okay. It's just like But I maybe just you're meeting weird people all day. I guess maybe that took him aback a bit. It's like what? Well, it's all about Lost Boys. Alex Winter, Billy Wirth, and Jason Patrick. They had their own little. Their booths are next to each other.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
was great.
right. So they're doing that's all about the Lost Boy because I think they made another appearance somewhere. So somebody posted on Instagram like a 40th reunion or something poster that they did.
Something like that. Yeah, and they had like a little mini panel at the Connecticut Horror Fest, which I didn't go to.
Yeah.
But it was, I mean, Billy Wirth's like, yeah, man, yeah. He's like, he was maybe the number one coolest person. He's like, yeah, man. Final Mission, man. I remember that, man. Like, who's Outlaw? It's like, that's you. Like, oh, that is me. Oh. Like, and then he read it back. Oh, that is, yeah. And he's like, that is me. I'm Outlaw.
Awesome.
That was so funny. That was the top. I did not. He just forgot. But all of them, the handler told me that he was gonna like that. You
Yeah.
got to talk to these handlers before you give them the stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
And you got to give him the movie, and you got to give him the money. And then he's right there, but you got to prepare all that stuff first. The handler for Ashley Lawrence, he kind of sucked up a little bit of my time. Like, hello, I am trying to talk to Ashley Lawrence here.
Yeah. Not the handler. Yeah, the handler's got to learn. I think that the handler, right? You got to take the money and get out of the way. That's really the deal, right?
Yeah, the lady for Billy Wolf did, but the guy for Ashley Lawrence didn't. He was there. He was hanging around there a little bit too long. It's like, so. Yeah, it's all not fun things. Yeah, 90s Con is coming soon, and with Ian Ziering, it's going to be there in Connecticut.
Oh, that's awesome. Where in Connecticut is that one?
Hartford, or I think it's Hartford. We went to Hartford the other day for the other convention. And go ahead.
Is that so? The 90s Con, the one in Connecticut, is that at the XL Center? Is that what it's called? The one where the Whalers used to play?
Yeah, I think it's not going to be the same place we went to for horror convention. It's someplace different. Yeah, so everyone from let's say cancel, all the 90210 cast will be there except for the two people who passed away.
Yeah.
Then we also have Paul Goslar, Lopez, and Berkeley.
Oh, that's just amazing. That's just absolutely amazing.
And then you could just stop there.
Right, exactly.
And then you have, I hope, please don't cancel because we got Rose McGowan. It's like, please don't cancel Rose McGowan.
No, that would be perfect too.
I'm gonna get a picture of me and Rose McGowan because she's great. So, and Zach Morris because that's my goal. But Ian Ziering is in a garbage movie called The Corporation. Have you heard of this?
No, I don't think so. With Ian Ziering,
in the 90s. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say usually if it's Ian Ziering, I'm usually all over it. So.
Well, it's funny. That's what's funny about Ian. Well, yeah. The corporation. Well, all I know about the corporation, I watched the trailer the other day, is that he's kind of a dumb businessman who's trying to get a new video game on the market. But the thing is, the video game has subliminal messages and it also has VR and stuff. It's this Roger Corman thing, so it's gonna be silly.
Right. Yeah.
And also, let's not forget that Ian Ziering and Ashley Lawrence are in an Oliver Gruner movie, which is Sabate.
Yes.
Now, I never chance to ask Ashley Lawrence about Sabate, but I will next time she comes. Trust me. I'm praying she comes back so I can get a copy and then she'll sign it off. And it would be great if I can get Ian Ziering to sign that first, and then again, all the signs. I wish I can get Oliver Gruner to sign it. Get everyone on the cast list.
Yeah.
James Brooks still around. I think that's probably Oliver Gruner still, probably his best movie.
Yeah, it's right. It's that one, Angel Town. I haven't seen Savage yet. Rich Haas was saying that one's a great one too.
That's a good one. Okay, because I think we watched Savage. Yeah, we watched Savage. Watched Automatic. Watched a bunch of Gruners.
Oh, Automatic. That's another one. Yeah, Automatic's something you put up there with. But
yeah, which I did watch. I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was funny to see Richard Pierce in the hijab. It was like it was over. I get what they were going for. I give it a pass. It was stupid, but it wasn't that bad.
the thing that killed it for me, that for Sector 4 extraction, people are familiar with that one. That one's a Gruner film that Rich Pierce, who been on your side, a really great episode. He gave a lot of really great background on it. But Sector 4 is kind of like Gruner's passion project. The thing I didn't like about it is there's like tons of training montages in it.
I asked him about that on this next episode. It's like, why was he training when he's already a trained soldier?
Right.
So he gave us a good he gave us the reason why. So there's a lot more Sector 4 talk in this next episode.
Okay, perfect.
We jumped right into it. Actually, he's like, boom, I watched Sector 4, give me more information. Just like,
okay, all right, excellent. Well, because I think we'll get into Armor, because I think that episode may already be out by the time this. I don't know. I guess that's because you guys already recorded.
Richard Pierce, that will be out October 1st.
Okay, so then it'll already, so people can check that one out if they're not subscribed. They should be. It will be
out.
Yeah. So hopefully, as you're listening, you've already listened to that episode. You're subscribed to the Comeuppance Reviews podcast, and you've already listened to it. You're like, we already know, guys. So,
I'll do. Thanks for subscribing to the podcast. But it's like these are more. Well, I think I've done almost everyone today, but it's like. But we should probably talk. Anything else you want to mention?
No. I think we could jump into Red Right Hand.
Okay, we'll jump into it.
Yeah. So this is a movie that is on Hulu. It's Orlando Bloom, came out this year. I guess I'll do a quick synopsis. Orlando Bloom plays a guy named Cash. So interesting. We've got two Cash. We've got Cash here, and then the next movie is called Cash Out. But he plays Cash. Yeah. And the deal is that he has this kind of mysterious past. His sister's passed away, but he helps his brother-in-law and his niece out with their farm. And then eventually a woman named Big Cat, played by Andie MacDowell, comes calling. And it turns out that like the brother-in-law took out a loan with her, and now he's in debt. He has to pay off her debt. And so Orlando Bloom kind of has a mysterious past where he actually did bad things for Big Cat, and she wants him to do some more bad things for her. Now, of course, what happens is he does these things too well, and Big Cat decides, you know what, I don't want to let you out of your obligation. You got to, I need you to keep working for me because you're doing such a great job. And he decides he's going to take him down, and he's going to take her down and everybody else with him. And the whole movie ends in this huge firefight at a mansion, and out in the South. But yeah, I think that's pretty much the bulk of it, right? I think we got a good synopsis in there. Yeah,
we did.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah. So what did you think of this one?
I thought this was a winner. Actually, this is a good movie. Never talking about. Right. I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, a good movie. Okay, wow. So, but it was good. I really enjoyed Andie MacDowell as Big Cat, and she was fantastic. You have to wait over an hour to see her, though.
Yes.
Let's see what I have for my notes here. You gotta love Bloom's Southern accent as Cash. That was great.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, right? Like it's interesting.
Bad. He really was trying. He's gonna give Emile Hirsch a run for his money. It's like because I'm surprised Emile Hirsch wasn't in this movie.
Right, exactly.
Like, where's Emile? Maybe he was just busy shooting Pursuit or something. But it's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I see it still hanging around Stars. It's like one of these days you'll get to that. I have my notes right. I just see him every time I look at these notes. Yeah. So, I thought also it was a good movie because I find that they're also obsessed with patty melts. Did you notice that?
Yes. They keep talking about these diners and their patty melts. Yeah.
And like that's funny because we can't go on a good patty melt. Right. Are you a fan of patty melts when you go to your local diner restaurants?
No, but I did when I was in Texas in 2022 for work. I did try the Whataburger patty melt, and that was actually really good.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, that might be my last patty melt that I've had. But yeah, usually if I go to a diner, I just get if I'm getting a burger. A lot of times I'll go more for like I don't know what you. I like the corned beef or the hot pastrami or something like that with some fries. That's usually what I go with. I don't know about you.
Can't really go wrong. Usually you get like a tuna patty melt. You know, with some fries. You can't really go wrong. I'm going to go to the diner tomorrow, I think.
Oh, nice.
We have a diner. Guess what kind of diner it is?
I don't know what kind.
Greek.
Oh, it's a Greek diner. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh, do you have a lot of Greek diners where you are in Philadelphia? Because we have a lot in Connecticut.
No. They're all just sort of like these. They're kind of like your Jersey style diner here.
Oh, interesting. Okay, we have like 6,000 Greek restaurants here.
Nice. Yeah,
It's
so
kind
get
of
a good
fun.
hero or something like that.
Exactly. Let's see what else I have here. Well, yeah, Andie MacDowell definitely stole the movie because you have to wait an hour in, but she has a country shirt on, her gray hair, bolo tie, southern accent.
Yes.
Perfect performance, man. Probably maybe her best work.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mix it up with Madeline Stowe. Andie MacDowell is what in Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Would that be like women of a certain age? The movie, so it would be Andie MacDowell. It would be Madeline Stowe. It would be Mary Elizabeth Antonio,
Yeah. Yes.
right?
Dana Delaney, would she fit or
Dana
not?
Delaney. Yeah, she'd sneak her in.
Yeah.
Uh,
What is the woman? Oh, I can't think of the woman who was in Distant Cousins. Mel Harris. Is that her name? Mel
yeah,
Harris?
okay, perfect. All right. So you get all these women of a certain age because you can't ask their age or their weight. It's like, and you can't say to smile more; they'll get in big trouble.
Right.
It's like, and also one more cliche there, which is women be shopping, But
Yes.
but yeah, she was fantastic in the movie, Andie MacDowell, because I loved her accent too. Because
Yeah.
she says that's weak sauce.
Right.
Remember that part?
Yes.
She has I think it's the shirt. It's the shirt that she wears, like this country shirt that's like tucked in,
Hmm.
and she's like, "We're gonna get that stuff and that moonshine. That's not gonna be weak sauce." And I
Yeah.
was like, "Wait, I'm getting Piven vibes here. I'm getting Jeremy Piven."
Yes.
I was pumped up for this performance.
Yeah, so I will say that's the thing I was not expecting was that
Yeah,
she kind of like in her Andie MacDowell way pivots it up a little bit, right, with that baddie. But it's
Mhm.
like, but it's
Yes,
also
Piven's.
it's very diabolical, right? Like there's that scene when they catch. Well, I don't. I forgot to give spoiler alert. So
Oh yeah,
so maybe I'll give you everybody a spoiler alert right now because we're gonna probably give some pieces away. But there's one scene where somebody's been captured
yeah.
and they the whole crew is there, including Orlando Bloom, and she pulls out like this tray of like knives and stuff and like you don't know what she's gonna do and if Bloom steps in and he's like, hey, everybody's had enough here, don't but it's like you don't know what's coming next. And
Oh,
she plays that so well. The one thing I would say about her performance that I think the movie did her a disservice with, she didn't look great carrying that M16 around. And I felt like I think the shootout overall, I think just because we're action fans and we see so much action, I I feel like there were a lot of ways that shootout wasn't great. I think, I mean, one, we lose Orlando Bloom for a lot of it, and then there's this
yeah.
character, this Reverend character, who's played by Garrett Dillahunt. We see more of him at points, or we see more Andie MacDowell. And we're like, well, what happened to Orlando Bloom?
Where's my
I
the Bloom? Yeah, where's my Bloomster? It's just like
right,
I like Garrett Dillahunt. I mean, I like when Raising Hope is a funny program.
yeah.
Ever watched that? It's funny. Um, have you watched Raising Hope?
I haven't watched Raise. I don't think so, but I recognize him from stuff.
Yeah. What? He's in like a movie. I was thinking, oh yeah, it's Garrett Dillahunt. I have to look that up now, or I'm gonna go crazy. But yeah. Where happened to Orlando Bloom? He like disappeared. It's like, where'd you go, buddy?
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
it was funny to see her have an M16 though.
well, that's the thing is it was funny, right? That's the
Yeah.
problem is it was funny. I think that's the thing is like this movie for the most part is like this really like chilling drama. Where it's like there's just a lot of stuff happening. And I mean, Orlando Bloom's hero, I didn't have Orlando Bloom as like, lead in a movie that takes place in like, Kentucky or wherever it does. I didn't have that on my bingo card. And it was, he was fantastic in it. And then it's like the end, it's like almost like they didn't know what to do with themselves at the end. And they had to do this big shootout thing, this big end thing, which in a 90-minute actioner is exactly what you want, right? You want your action scenes every 15 minutes and you want to have a big thing at the end. Whereas I felt like this movie, it's like it almost didn't know how to handle. I think I almost would have liked maybe like some kind of like a more dramatic thing where it's like, Bloom confronts Big Cat and he just, it's like, maybe he just shoots or something. I don't know. But yeah,
I
it
get what
felt
you're
like
saying. Yeah.
yeah, 'Cause and that's not to say I didn't like the movie. I just felt like the action thing at the end just didn't feel like it fit tonally with everything else that had happened before it.
Because most of the movie was almost like watching an episode of Justified, if you ever watched
Yes.
that program. And it's like, okay, then he goes to this action, which basically did work out for its favor.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Bloom disappeared, that did hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the movie that. Oh, it was. Oh, here it is. It was Last House on the Left, the remake. Do you ever watch that?
I think so. No, I don't know. No, I never ended up seeing the remake of it.
And he's in these. Garrett Dillahunt's career is kind of odd. I mean, like,
Yeah.
he goes to TV, does some garbages. He did some Mr. Ed pilot that never got through. Mr. Ed. What's that? Yeah, it's based on a television show. It has Sherman Helmsley and Sherilyn Fenn and Garrett Dillahunt.
Yeah, they never made it. That's
Well, that's disappointing.
right.
I love that little horse. I remember the episode where he went to school, but he couldn't go in the class, so he looked out the window. Or he looked in the window, I mean.
Right.
Good episode.
Yeah. You love that. Yeah.
It's amazing that we had a show about a talking horse. Well, that's all we had, you know.
Yeah.
It was that or The Life of Dobie Gillis or these old shows. It's not like I'm like 75 years old. I just know I just know these older programs.
Mr. Ed, yeah, Mr. Ed was like it was just like, yeah, it was the most amazing thing ever. But yeah, you're right. Like, you know, like it would be interesting to see if you could pull something like that off today. If you could pull off a Mr. Ed, you know.
Yeah, I guess they tried in 2005. You know.
Yeah, the TV movie.
You know, you probably have to put CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Because who would play Mr. Ed? Who would be the voice? It'd be like some like. There's a springboard for impressions, but it's like, you know, what's Stallone? Horse.
Right.
Or actually, Van Damme would be perfect for Mr. Ed. It's like,
Right.
like, why does his horse have like a Belgian accent? Like, I don't horse around. It's like he has some terrible puns or something like that.
That would be beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could definitely do some great voice work depending on who you get to do that character. Like, I mean, James Spader, he would be great, you know? Like just
Wouldn't it be amazing if James Spader was the voice of Mr. Ed now?
Oh, that would be so beautiful.
It's perfect. I would pay to get that filmed. I'd pay to get that made. I need to see that.
Yeah.
Remember he was our fake villain in that Dolph Lundgren movie?
Yes.
Ground Force.
Yes. Yes.
Johnson? It's like it was Johnson all along.
Right.
The finale of The Blacklist is so Spader. It's just hilarious. I never finished up watching The Blacklist or even
No, you know, a friend of mine was telling me to watch it because he watched it. I don't know if he finished it up, but he was like, you got to watch The Blacklist. Spader's fantastic in it. I was like, you're right, I do. Yeah.
And then it falls off in the last few seasons, but Spader really he kept it afloat for a while, and the finale is just so Spader, so his character and Spader is kind of wacky.
Right.
And it was a good program up for a while, and it unfortunately fell off. But there was this weird. Remember, when the coronavirus hit, I call it sometimes I call it Coroni. So when Coroni hit, they were filming an episode of The Blacklist, right? But then they had to shut it down, and then because of that, they put the rest of the movie and like the rest of the episode in like an animated form.
Oh, I remember. I saw that.
It's really weird. It's so like, here's the episode. Oh, he's animated now. He's animated now for some reason. You can probably find that on YouTube.
Yeah, that's it. I'll have to check that. Yeah, because I think The Blacklist, I think that's on Peacock as well, isn't it?
It should be. Or I used to watch it on Netflix.
Netflix had it. That's right. Yeah.
Unless it went away.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about it? I'll say I recommend the movie because Andie MacDowell and Orlando Bloom were so good in it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely on that. I mean, this is so. I think one of the things, right? Like, because when you spotted this movie, you were like, "Hey, it's Orlando Bloom," you know, with Andie MacDowell. Like, this is perfect for a podcast. And then you started watching. You're like, "Wow, it's actually an hour and 50 minutes long."
Yeah, sure.
And so that was like a question. Okay, we'll go with it anyway. We'll just do it. But I think this is one of those times. It's like, you know, I think other than the action scene at the end, right? This feels like it should be an hour and 50-minute movie. You know, like the way the drama plays out, it plays out in a longer movie. You know, it's that action scene at the end where you're like, okay, that's a 90-minute movie action sequence at the end, but it probably was a sign for us that this might be better quality
Yeah,
when you see that runtime there. Not that the runtime should matter, but I think there was a sense this might be a better quality production.
and you can tell it was like, wait, I was invested,
Right.
right? And it's like after the last few duds, there's
Yes, right.
God, I'm still annoyed about that diner chatter. It's just like it's like why is everyone talking while they're talking? I mean, I still get mad about that one.
Oh, and do justice when
I do justice with all that.
yes, right when they're in the restaurant or whatever, right? And
Yeah,
you're hearing
uh,
like silverware clattering around
yeah.
and yeah,
You can take that for like 1 or 2 seconds in a movie, but not the whole time.
right. Right. Like this movie isn't doing anything like that,
No,
right?
it's a
This
professional production.
is a professional, you know, the scenes are shot well, the
Yeah.
story unfolds in a great way. You know, I mean, yes, the action sequence, I think the action sequence is what keeps it from being like, because it's so tonally off, it keeps it from being like a 5-star movie. But I think, you know, from a letterbox standpoint, 3 is a good number for this. I
Right? Yeah,
think that,
3.
yeah,
Because it was a strong 3. I think
yeah,
without Andie MacDowell, I think it'd still be kind of a 3. But that really pumped it up to like a recommendation just to watch Andie MacDowell in it.
yeah.
And usually I don't recommend Andie MacDowell things because first off, I don't really know much about her filmography. About looking
Right.
up,
Right.
I
You're
mean,
not really watching we're not really watching Andie MacDowell movies that often, right? You know, Groundhog
yeah,
Day, right? That obviously that's a big one for weddings. She did that's right, I forgot she did Sex Lies and Videotape, speaking of James
oh
Spader.
yeah.
So
Wait,
yeah,
what's
she
the
was
first one you mentioned though? I'm sorry, I didn't
oh
hear you.
Groundhog Day.
Oh, that's a great movie. That's
Yes.
a good movie. That's a really good one.
Yeah. So actually we've probably seen more Andie MacDowell than we realize because you know, I guess I don't know Hudson Hawk where you put that one. That one's,
Hudson Hawk, not a
yeah.
great movie.
No, that's her 4 box on IMDb. It's Groundhog Day, Sex Lies and Videotape, Four Weddings and a Funeral, and Hudson Hawk. So
That's hilarious.
yeah,
That's what she's known for. That's basically true.
yeah.
I mean, oh, that's right. She's in Bad Girls, um, the Western movie that buddy Dermot Mulroney,
That's right. Yeah.
and it's an interesting career. I mean, looking at it right now, it's very odd. I mean, oh, she made this weird movie. It's called Gino Nostra. Have you ever heard of this?
I don't know.
It has Harvey Keitel, Annie MacDowell, and Asia Argento. And it's guess what company put it out? Lionsgate.
Oh, I'm seeing it right now. Okay, I'm
It,
seeing it right
yeah,
now. All right.
I want to give away something that's insane in it. I don't know. Well, the movie's 20 years old.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it away.
Okay.
So there's a part where a bunch of nuns stuff a bomb inside a sheep, and then the sheep blows up.
Oh, man. Okay. All right.
What? Um,
Oh, it's got Harry Dean Stanton in it. I wonder
yeah.
if from a Harry Dean Stanton standpoint, if this passes the Stanton what is it, the Stanton Walsh rule, right? That uh, uh Roger Ebert, right? He has the Stanton Walsh
Uh,
rule that any movie that has either Harry D. Stanton or M. Emmett Walsh has to be good. Now
didn't they use
he
that
said the
for the
rule
story?
was broken by Wild Wild West. I don't know if this movie would have broken it too.
I mean, the movie's very weird. The movie's very awkwardly filmed, awkwardly edited, awkwardly. I need to maybe watch it. Maybe I didn't like. I think I have an old review of it
Right?
on the site, but maybe I should give it another chance. I have to buy it now. I don't have a copy, but
Yeah,
I remember that
you
that
reviewed it
was
on your site. You reviewed it,
yeah.
but what's his name didn't Ebert. I guess
Oh,
he wouldn't. I
didn't
guess if
read.
it's not screened for critics, he wouldn't have watched it, so he wouldn't have even known this existed.
Hey, that's a good idea. Why didn't Ebert review straight to video titles? Would be
Yeah,
good to hear uh his opinion on, let's say, Zero Tolerance or something like that. That'd be great.
I have a hunch that he would have liked Zero Tolerance. I don't know.
Yeah, his like opinion like varies. It's really
Yeah,
weird. It's like he doesn't like Blue Velvet or Kick Ass or The Raid 1, but he loved Speed 2 and he liked other weird things. It's like
right.
it must be, as I say, catch him in a good mood, I guess. It's
Yes.
just like, which I did also watch Kandahar. That's a movie I forgot to mention with Gerard Butler's.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Well, it's a movie you watch when you're bored, and it's more like Body of Lies
Yeah.
than this phone. So he's not punching terrorists or something. It's more like it was okay. I mean, it was a perfect movie to watch on Hulu when I had exactly 2 hours to spare. It's just like that was it. That's the way the movie was made in a way. Like, okay, actually about an hour and 50, but
Yeah.
it was okay. We need to watch another Butler. Um, yeah, so right here, yeah, I'm going to recommend it for sure.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
was going to say quickly about Kandahar. There's a movie that came out in 2001 by an Iranian director, Mohsen Makhmalbaf, directed that we watched at the Indie Theater in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So that's the Kandahar that I have seen. And so it's not the Gerard Butler one. It's about a journalist who goes through Kandahar and has to wear the burqa and stuff to hide.
okay.
Yeah, I remember I got some lamb vindaloo at the Indian place nearby before we got Indian food. I always remember this. We got Indian food before we went, and I had been going there quite a bit. And so, if you go to an Indian restaurant, if you go there enough, they might get to know you and think that maybe you can handle Indian style hot as opposed to just American style hot. Because they have two different hots that they make for you at a lot of Indian restaurants. And I think he made me Indian style medium, to be quite frank, but it was like massive. Like it was like so painful that it made me sick to my stomach. That's how hot it was. And so I don't know how I was able to manage the movie. I probably just had like a lot of water to drink like the whole
Okay.
time. But Red Right Hand. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm saying I was just going to recommend it.
Yeah.
I think people should check it out because it's surprisingly like pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. I think this is a performance from Orlando Bloom that I wasn't expecting, but it
Yeah,
was really good. And like you said, the Andie MacDowell piece, her baddie is just fantastic in this.
yeah,
Those two pieces alone, and again, it's on Hulu, so most people have Hulu. It's in some
yeah.
form, so it's included in your package, so you're not paying anything for it.
It was perfect for free, and it's actually even better. I would have paid. Well, I'm too lazy to pay for things on demand, but
Right.
I pay enough cable bills. But
Yeah.
I would have maybe paid like $1 on demand or something like $5. I mean,
Yeah, well, I think now knowing how good it is, I think it's worth, if you don't have Hulu, if you're outside the
right?
country, I think it's $4 to rent on Prime Video. I think this could be a good rental. If
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's
exactly.
like a movie night movie, but it is a good Saturday night if you're just, looking for something to watch. This will do
Yeah,
the trick, I think.
this is perfect for like the morning or early afternoon. So between like 8 a.m. and like 2,
Yeah.
because I watched it around that time frame.
Right.
Like, oh, this is perfect for 8, 9 a.m. or 2 o'clock. And then I
Yeah.
watched Cash Out right after. So I'm making
Same
sure I
here.
do back to back. So
That's what I did. Yeah, so I did this one Saturday night, and then I did Cash Out late Saturday night. So it was
okay,
like
yeah.
so I guess it was technically maybe early Sunday morning. Let's
Talk
check
about
Letterbox and see when the diary said I logged it. So yeah.
rumor has it that you can't post things on. You can, but I mean it won't count as a logged movie on Saturdays. I read
Oh,
this like 4 years ago. Like, okay, because it never came up. And okay, I'll never post something. I'll never log something on Saturday again. Maybe they fixed that,
I
but
think they fixed it because I
that's
think that's
okay.
well. Let me see when I actually did watch the movie. So, yeah, it says I watched Cash. Oh no, I watched Red Right Hand on the 28th. Cash Out was the 29th. Yeah, so yeah, so it did count it on that Saturday.
Okay, it did. Okay, that's interesting. They must have fixed that
They must have,
glitch.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Those earlier days of Letterbox 3 or 4 years ago, those kind of those pandemic days or whatever, like yeah, things happened. Like I mean, remember it would be down a lot, and you just see like Raging
yes.
Bull or whatever.
Yeah, I started up my Letterbox account. Oh, wait, about Raging Bull? I'm sorry.
No, like remember when the site would be down, they'd have that shot of Raging Bull,
Yeah.
right?
Now, when you type in a wrong title, does it say Matt is not here anymore, or your name,
I don't know.
or like this is a wrong title,
Something
Matt
like
is not
yeah.
here anymore? It says your name, right?
Oh,
Because
maybe.
it might do it because it said, I think maybe it was quite Fight Club or something. It says Tyler's not here, and I was like, wait, that's my name. Does it mean like you're just saying the quote, or that's because you know my account? It's like, so I don't know how sometimes you get that. It's like a glitch in the system.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and sometimes
Yeah.
Letterboxd still got. Oh, so you say Letterboxd went down a lot? It did. It did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, those early days, it seemed like I'd go on to want to like add things or log things or whatever, and there is Robert De Niro sitting there, and like, okay, all right. And then sometimes you go on Twitter to find out when it's going to come back, because there would always be trending on Twitter. The people like, I can't log my movies. This is horrible, It's like,
yes, yeah. And then I type in on Twitter Letterboxd down,
yeah,
and it's like it's been down for me for 5 minutes. I can't log in my movie.
right, exactly.
It's like, sometimes it still happens though. It's kind of funny though when he says you have to look that up, and it comes up right away. People love Letterboxd, which is a great service. It's a great app.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like for example, for people listening, we've got I put up a letterbox list that's of all the movies that you and I have done on these 2 movie episodes. It's over 50 movies at this point.
Amazing.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So like people can go on there and take a look and see what we've watched and come. I mean, these two will get added, of course. This one and the next one we'll be talking about. So yeah, you can go and see, and it has the episode number listed, so you can go in the archives and find whichever one that it was that you want to check out. So,
I mean, it's really well done how they make the site. And I'm still not going to get Letterboxd Pro though.
Right? No, me neither.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. But yeah, so I would definitely recommend the movie if you want to jump to our next movie or you want to go on an exciting break.
I could go to the next one if you want. Yeah, should we just plow right through?
Sure, plow right through.
Plow right through. Okay. Well, all right. So our second movie is a movie called Cash Out, and this was actually, I can't remember what we originally had planned for our second movie, but we bumped Cash Out, I think, into it when we found out this was available for us.
Yeah, that's gone.
So yeah, this is on Hulu as well. It came out just recently. I mean, it's only been out for like what did it come out, like August, I think.
Yeah, pretty recently. I mean, it hit the Hulu September 6th.
Yeah.
I shouldn't know that, but I mean, to remember that I just watched it. So it's like,
yeah.
Read the plot.
Yeah, it's a fascinating movie. I mean, I guess I'll do a quick synopsis because this is it's directed by Randall Emmett. The movie lists him as Eves, but if you go to IMDb, they list his real name. They list Randall Emmett there.
That's his middle name. Randall
Eves.
Randall Eves Emmett.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think you can trick us.
Exactly. Well, great, because this feels like like a Randall Emmett directed movie. Though apparently when he had to leave the filming, because this was made in 2022, he had to leave the filming, and Tyler John Olson, who you may know from other Randall Emmett films, he had to pick up the directing. So he was he plays a deputy in Savage Salvation. He is this guy. He's Tom in Out of Death. I think Tom was like one of the guys in that forest chasing Jamie King. I mean, he plays like these low-level characters in a lot of these Randall Emmett movies.
Right, that was Out of Death.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's also in Hard Kill. So he had to. I guess he finished up the directing in the movie. So it starts as a Randall Emmett, and then Tyler John Olson finishes the movie. But the basic idea. I mean, it's essentially Inside Man, right? It's
Yes. Oh goodness, yes.
Yeah. So Travolta is a famous thief who he's stealing a fancy car with Kristen Davis as his girlfriend. He finds out Kristen Davis is actually in a Fed who has been infiltrated him the whole time. He's got a brother played by Lucas Haas. So Lucas Haas was born, I think, in the late 70s. I think, yeah, he was born in 1976, so mid 70s. So they're about 20 years apart, but they're playing brothers. So it's similar to what was at Seagal in The Foreigner, right? His brother is like 20 years. His brother's born in 71, and he was born in 51, and so it's like, yeah.
I remember that because Seagal played Jonathan Cold,
right? Exactly.
And his brother was Sean Cold, so we called him Sean Cold.
Right.
So it's like,
yes. Right, exactly. So this is a similar setup, but anyway, after the whole they escape despite Kristen Davis, revealing that she's a Fed. They escape. Him and his gang escape, and he goes into retirement. But Lucas Haas tries to get him out of retirement with his big score. The big score, nothing can go wrong. Big score. And when Travolta shows up in wherever they are doing the big score, I think it's supposed to be in Seattle. When he shows up, he tells Lucas Haas, he's like, "Get out of here! Stop doing it! Don't do this!" And it's like, well, everybody's already, the gang's already in the bank because it's supposed to be a big bank heist. And so Travolta goes into the bank to get everybody out. And when he does, he finds out that Lucas Haas, who has gotten the manager at gunpoint, comes back in and restarts the heist. And then things go sideways, and suddenly it's a big hostage thing. Kristen Davis is in there as the hostage negotiator. And it's a question of like, what is being held in this bank account? What is this thing they're trying to get? How is he going to work his way out to use what's in the bank account? Feels like it's an impossible situation, but somehow, some way, Mr. Travolta is going to make it work. And so, yeah, that's the movie. One other thing I should point out, a person named Joel Cohn is in the film, and he's also one of the producers. It's not the Joel and Ethan Cohn, Joel Cohen. So this is
Oh,
not right. This is not the guy who does the movies like No Country for Old Men and things like that. Yeah, it's not that Joel Cohen. But
well,
yeah, what did you think of Cash Out?
okay, it wasn't good.
Right.
It was kind of a slog. Uh, well, why? Honestly, we both noticed this, right? We got the 400 logos before the
Yes.
movie, and it's our
Yes.
favorite new logo, right? Bond it. It's like
Yes.
Bond
Yeah.
the Capital.
Yeah.
It's like I want. Yes, Bond it here. Yes,
Exactly. Well, because
I
it's
love
like
Bond.
this thing where it's like this nice ocean theme, and you're like, oh, the
Yeah,
beach, and it's nice, and it's like, but it's bonded. It's like it's almost like this last bit of niceness you're going to get before the movie's bad.
exactly. It's like okay. Well, at first I was like, wait, where's my Bond the Capital? Oh, okay, good. I can
Yes.
relax now. Bond the
Right.
Capital taking this movie again. Thank you. It's like, well, as you said, that's sad that the logos that's part of the movie. Well, that's basically that in a nutshell. Because it rips off Inside Man. Because I wrote this down in my notes. Okay, yeah. So if you remember in Inside Man, people probably have seen that. Denzel Washington, and there's a character played by Jodie Foster,
Yeah.
and she plays like a adjudicator. Like, I'm looking for this box, It's like, and then Denzel Washington, this ain't no bank robbery. It's like, but it's kind of a spoiler. Actually, if you watch the trailer for that movie, like, I want to. Yes, it's cool to see Denzel to say that, but Denzel. But, yeah, then there's a guy in this movie. His name is Mr. Flowers, and
Yeah.
it's completely the same character as Jodie Foster. So that was annoying.
Yeah. Right.
I see this mostly this movie as a comedy. I have to keep that in mind, right? So
Well,
there's
it's
a lot
it's
of
it's supposed to be a comedy, despite the fact that we've got so Noel Guglielmi, who's played is listed as Noel G. So we know he plays another Hector, as we were joking, right? This
yeah,
is what do we say? This is the 11th Hector he's played.
a lot of actor, yeah.
Yeah. So he's always a Hector. But he and another guy, actor Quavo, who plays Anton.
Guava,
So Quavo, you got to have Quavo. When the robbery, this is what it said, just says Quavo. I don't know if he's got
I
anything else.
laughed.
Yeah,
Also,
it's
I didn't really, I forgot to check.
he looks familiar. I think he's been in other stuff, but oh, he's a rapper. He's out of Georgia,
Oh, okay.
so
All right.
that's why it's
Familiar.
only the one name because if he's a rapper, we don't. Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he's on the soundtrack for like Bad Boys for Life and oh he actually speaking of Fast and Furious or Fate of the Furious, he was in he had a soundtrack on that. So Quavo is an actual he's an artist. So that's why we only need the one name. Yeah, so it is a weird thing, right? Like a musician can be one name or a singer, a rapper, whatever. It can be one name, but an actor is one name is kind of weird.
Well, yeah, look at, I was going to say share, but I mean, like, I'm trying to think of a first name. And are there some examples, right? I'm trying to think of on top of my head in this live radio situation.
Yeah,
Do you
I was
have
trying to think too of an actor that, right. I mean, there's probably some that we're just not thinking of that's just not coming to head, but coming into our head. But usually they were a singer first, right? Like
yeah,
Sting, was
Sting, yeah,
that's,
Sting,
yeah, or like you mentioned Cher, right? Cher was a singer first. So if you're a singer, you can be a singer who then becomes an actor with just one name. But usually as an actor, we even if it's a fake last name, or like in Noel Guglielmi's case, Noel G, right? He's not just
okay,
Noel; he's
that's
got to at
fine.
least be Noel
Fine.
G.
That's his last name, so Noel
Right.
G is fine.
Right, exactly, exactly, yeah. And the thing is, right, is that this is supposed to be a funny movie, but yet we've got Noel G and Quavo holding these people at gunpoint, and they're
Yeah,
not just like holding them at gunpoint in a fun way. They're shouting orders at them, they're swearing at them, they're shoving them around and stuff like that. And it's like, well, that's not kind of fun. I mean, it makes sense from Randall Emmett's standpoint because he treats people like shit all the time. So it's like he's kind of known for that. So it's like,
that was the thing in Randall Scandal. Yeah,
right, exactly. So of course he would think it's not a big deal that our heroes are treating innocent people like shit like this. But it's like, how am I supposed to root for them when they're doing this? And then of course there's like this thing at the very end where we find out that they all that Travolta got them each $1 million.
yeah.
Right. And so
It's
it's like, yeah, it's like, oh well, I guess they put up with that, so they got $1 million. But yeah, so it was like tonally it was weird because it's like, how can it be offbeat when it's also like serious and people yelling at poor innocent people? Like it would have been one thing, I think, if Travolta had just let them all out the door to start with, and just like, and they're like, what are you doing? Why are you letting the hostages out? Because I've got a plan here, and or I don't know, whatever it was, that, or maybe just like the bank manager was a jerk enough that they could have kept him, like if somebody was a jerk, you could see them being held hostage as a person. But these poor innocent people, it didn't work.
yeah,
When
no,
it's supposed to be offbeat.
yeah. The movie doesn't work because it's not really shouldn't be a comedy. It's like Kristen Davis's voice is weird.
Yes.
Travolta's voice is weird.
Yes.
It's like Travolta doesn't look like he wants to be there, but he just kind of, you know, he looks. Wow, I mean, I almost kind of felt bad for him. It's like,
Yeah.
and there's that. I thought the funniest, silliest part of the movie. Uh, God, let me. Well, where are my notes? Hold on. Here we go. So, remember this chase scene in that office? It's like that kind of workstation of the cubicles.
When you mean, and when I'm trying to think, when they're in the
They're like in
bank.
they're in the bank. They go to like this kind of office with the cubicle, and there's like a chase scene.
Right, when they're chasing the bank manager.
Yeah, first one, it looked like
Yes.
garbage. It looked like
Yes.
CGI garbage. Why is there a CGI cubicle scene? It looked horrible. I mean, like I was like, what? And why is there? Everything was like CGI. I mean, I laughed, but I mean, like this is not good. I mean, here's like, there's trying to be like Remington Steele meets Inside Man, and then it just doesn't work. I mean, like, there's no really any funny banter. It's like,
Right, because there's other CGI stuff that happens, right? Like I think the
yeah,
shooting is CGI. I think there's
yeah,
explosions that are CGI.
yeah,
Um,
it's
the blood. I mean, again, this is
terrible.
the difference between this movie and Red Right Hand is that Red Right Hand is doing, the shootout. Like, yes, maybe tonally it felt off, but at least from the shootout standpoint, they were using real like explosions, like things blowing, like if they shot and it hit like a tree,
Bricks. Yeah, that
or the car would dimple with the bullets. Like this is all, like you said, it's CGI, and it's like CGI sets. It's like, because I think also, I think is the server room that they're in, is that also CGI?
look like everything looked digital. It looked kind of just on green screens, and it just didn't look great. And then you just get annoyed by it because
Yeah.
you got Travolta. You got to love Travolta's always good. I mean, they can't. Yeah, I always liked him. He's always kind of fun to watch, and like he's still making the garbages, huh? I thought he was gonna get off. Um, so that was
Well,
surprising.
so no, he might be getting off of them because this was shot in 2022.
Right.
So though Cash Out 2 High Rollers is in post production. So
Yeah, I look forward to that because see, they replaced Kristen Davis with Gina Gershon, but he plays the same character.
yeah, which is perfect. I think I would have liked Gina Gershon. I think Gina
And
Gershon. So Kristen Davis, good or bad, I think this character that she's playing is played better by Gina Gershon.
yeah, because it's that baby voice that was driving me crazy.
Yeah.
Is that a real voice? I guess I don't watch much Kristen Davis. I know she's on Sex in the City,
think
I
that's
don't
how
know.
she sounded on Melrose too, because she was on Melrose. Where she dated Billy, I think, on Melrose.
Billy. That's my Courtney Burns Smith, but like Billy.
Right, right. It was
I
like
think.
another level, right? I think that was what she did. I know she was on. I'm pretty sure she was on Melrose, right? Isn't that?
I mean, I saw it now over a year. Now I finally finished that show over a year ago now, so it's kind of gone. But I mean, like, I just remember the best episode of all time, which was when the Caspi Island blew up. Grant Show's boat.
Yes.
Uh, that was awesome.
Yeah. I didn't
That's
know
the best.
there was supposed to be another big explosion on that show. I didn't realize that in 95, like as the show was kind of ending, they were going to do a big explosion. And then the Oklahoma City bombing happened and they squashed it because of that. I
Oh,
know that also because that was when Die Hard with a Vengeance came out and they removed, I got sirens going, sirens and an ice cream truck going
very
through
nice.
here. So it's, yeah, so you can hear all kinds
Yeah,
of
but
funny, yeah. But yeah, so but I guess they removed an explosion. So yeah, so she was in the 95, 96 window. It looks like she was towards the end of the show. Yeah.
it's come back to me a little bit, but
Yeah, or not
uh,
towards the end. She was in the middle of the show. She was in the middle, 95, 96, because it still went on until 99. So, um, yeah, that's one that I could definitely go for a rewatch on that one as well, because
oh,
that Melrose was
take
a
your time.
fun one.
It was a good show, but man, every episode's like 30 episodes a season.
Yeah,
Like, it's just like these older shows, like we were mentioning before. They had like 50 episodes a season.
right,
It's
right.
like Gilligan's Island was only on for a few seasons, but it has like 100 episodes. Like,
Yeah.
that's interesting. The thing, I'm gonna also compare this movie to a better Travolta that we watched recently, which was Paradise City.
Oh, right. Yes.
Way better movie. Because you had your Dorff, which will be coming back very shortly,
Yes.
in two separate sections. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so this movie wasn't good. I did like the stupid line by Travolta, which was, "There better be a lot of freaking crypto." Like, I don't think he said freaking. I'm just censoring myself, but it's just it's what Travolta. He's good in the movie. I mean, like, that's all I can say. That's actually positive.
Well, because you know what it is? It's like when we did Hot Seat with Mel Gibson in it, or I guess because we're used to these with Bruce Willis, where Bruce Willis was so his medical condition was such that he really wasn't present in the movies,
Not
so
really.
that star quality wasn't there. But like with Mel Gibson, it's like you see it right away. It's like, oh, he's
Yep.
immediately the way better than anybody else in the film. And
Exactly.
Travolta's the same thing. I mean, Lucas
Yes.
Haas is a decent enough actor. Kristen Davis is a decent enough actor, but they're not on the level of a Travolta. And it's like Travolta is coming in here as Travolta, as, Vincent Vega or whatever whatever character actor you want to do.
Right?
Yeah,
They call him the Ace of Spades. Like,
right,
I think,
right, exactly.
who is he? Lemmy? Just like,
Right.
that's an idea. John Travolta as Lemmy in the Motorhead story.
Oh, can you imagine with the wig if they gave him the wig
Oh,
and the
perfect.
corn pops on his face? They put a couple corn pops on his face.
I love that. It's not out of the question.
No.
Which the best part of this movie really is our idea, basically.
Yes. Well,
I'm gonna get to my note. I'm gonna get to the Instagram message. I didn't get to put it into the notes
well, yeah, no,
in
I
time.
can give people
Oh, go ahead.
Noel Guglielmi, seeing that Noel Guglielmi was in this,
Yeah.
obviously Texas Battle is someone who we've seen in a good amount of these, and you brought up the idea of what if they were in a buddy cop movie together, and
Yes.
and we were talking about like different pieces of it, like who would be the baddie, and I think that's where we had Chad Michael Murray, with his
Yes.
vest from, I mean, he could even be the baddie from the Fortress movies. It could just be like,
Sure. That'd be amazing.
yeah,
It's all about world building now, or these what's it, multiverses.
right, universe, right. It could be the Emmett verse, yeah,
Perfect. It's talking about the scroll.
right, exactly. Emmett, right. So for people who don't remember, we talked about how Randall Emmett would go up to people like Texas Battle or Noel Guglielmi or anybody with a scroll that would essentially say
Yeah.
your life is mine and you've got to make like
Yeah.
tons of
Yeah.
movies for me. Right.
Like Travolta has the scroll. You got Killing Season, you got two cash outs, you got Paradise City. He's getting up there.
Oh, he's got a
Lonely Heart.
few. Mobland.
What movie? I'm sorry.
Mobland.
Mobland. Yeah, Mob. I thought that was okay enough.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. I've been meaning to, but yeah, that's another one that's his. Um, Speed
Yeah.
Kills.
If you ever, oh God,
I haven't seen that one, or I Am Wrath. I haven't seen that one yet either.
Oh, I Am Rap is yeah. That's he's making the straight to videos. I think it's because he kind of fell off a little bit. But
Yeah.
what's good about Travolta is that he's always usually pretty good. So I would, if you like Travolta, watch it. If you don't like Travolta, don't watch it.
Yeah, right, exactly. This is an hour and a half. So this is, the thing, I think the difference between this movie and the one we just talked about is that the movie we just talked about will kind of draw you in. Like it's got a solid story and the compelling performance. All of it, it's gonna Red Right Hand's gonna pull you in, and it's not gonna be the kind of thing that you can like, do your laundry or something, right? Like while you can't be like folding your shirts and stuff while you're watching Red Right Hand. Cash Out, yeah, you can, you pull out the cookbook and like try that Italian dish that you hadn't cooked
Oh,
before, right?
it's
You, you know
the
ha-
other way you watch. It's one of these look up movies. It's a phone movie.
right.
It's a sock drawer movie. It's just anything else. But I cut you off about telling us about our idea. So wait, go ahead.
Oh, well, so then we were talking about where would this movie take place, right? Because
Yeah.
would it be a buddy cop movie on the streets? And then you mentioned the jungle idea,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
of course just brings up the classic, like the explosion. They're running away from the explosion, they jump into the waterfall in slow motion, and you could see like
Yeah.
Noel
Huh?
Guglielmi in Texas Battle, like
And you got the evil Chad McElmurray. I don't have his name in front of me. My name I made up. It was just like I can look it up.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did. You had a name for him. That's
I
right.
did. It was like it's Jason Sinkill.
That's
Uh,
right.
and I think of these. I must be nuts because it's like that. It's like, what's an evil name? Well, can we think what you're watching with Black Panther? The guy whose name was Killmonger, right?
That's right. Yes, Michael B.
And
Jordan. Yeah.
yeah. So Chad McElmurray. I have my here in the notes. So um, here we go. So yeah, Noel G, Texas Battle, and Chad McElmurray as Jason Sinkill, or the same character as Fortress, which is also funnier, I think. He has
Right.
to wear the suit. He has to wear the suit vest, but this time the vest is armor plated,
Exactly.
and then he has that. Well, yeah, but picture this, right? So the beginning, you get Chad McElmurray has like he wants a new, and it's the jungle is massive and awash with trees and wonder, perfect to knock down for my new housing development.
Yes.
You could totally see that at the beginning, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, and maybe like there's like local people getting chased away. Like
Yes, yes.
this is where you can get that really bad trope of like the young woman who's like the young actress who's like maybe like from Asia or Latin America, who's
Yeah.
like playing like a local, and maybe she falls in love with I don't know which one she falls in love with. Is it Texas Bad? I guess maybe they flip a coin to see who gets
Yeah.
the girl.
Yeah, sure. Flip a coin. Yeah.
Because these two never get the girl, right? They're so used to
No,
being supporting. I mean, I don't. They probably never had a love scene in any of their movies. Like,
I
like,
don't.
like for Noel Guglielmi, the closest thing to a love scene is probably like a scene where like he's at a strip club and somebody shows up and he's like he has to move the girl off him and be like, "Yo, what are you doing in here? This is you
Exactly.
come up in my shit like this. This is what do you think he pulls the gun out? He goes, listen,
Exactly.
man, no, I need to talk to you about something.
Like, hey, Hector, come over here. And he comes
Right?
over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. Here comes Hector.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
Flacco. You play a couple Flaccos.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if he has a whole set of oversized black T-shirts too, because he's a lot of times his character wears an oversized black. So it's funny though. So the screenwriter for that I was telling you about that the Stone Cold Steve Austin Recoil. He met Noel Guglielmi because he wrote that movie, Johnny Sullivan, and he told me he said Noel Guglielmi is like the nicest guy ever. And so he plays these angry people, So it's like he might be happy that we're saying we're trying to pitch a leading role for him,
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that'd be great. And Texas Battle, he needs a main role. I
Yeah.
think they'd be great buddies. I think, a really fun movie.
Yeah.
But you need Chad Murray though. You need him.
He
You need
has
like
to be the
a
baddie.
semi-name for the bad guy, like something like that. Or maybe if you can't get Chad Murray, maybe get Dorff. But you definitely need Chad Murray because he's been
Yeah.
killing it lately.
Man, I like Dorff as a baddie, but I also like Dorff as like his part in Paradise City. Like, yeah, I feel like you're right. I think Chad Michael Murray is just like because you're right. Like you think of other people you could potentially have as that baddie. But I Chad Michael Murray I think would just be so perfect for those
Yeah,
two as buddy cops.
I can see it. They got cut back to him a lot. Fortress or Mr. Chad.
Yeah.
And it's like why is my house not being built yet? It's like, we just started, sir. I don't care.
Right,
no one was
exactly.
like, why is it Noel G with Noel G as Hector?
Yes.
And who are these Hector and Texas people?
Right.
Why are they in my way? Get them out of my way.
Right.
Then it'd be great. And it's like, and
yeah,
then at the end it would be. Oh, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Oh no, so his character is Balzery. Does that sound right? Was that
What
his
from
character? And that's what it lists from Fortress. It says Balzery. Does that sound right?
That was his name? I was so enamored by his vest. I forgot
his character name was Balzer. Yeah. So, but yeah, I agree with you that he's like angry that things aren't getting built and everything. And then like, yeah, you've got this actress who, because I remember like the one in Paradise City that, remember, she was the one who hooks up with, like that kind. And remember, she's the one who lives in Paradise City as well. So that could be like, you'd have to have that trope in there, that cliche of, I don't want to use the word exotic because it's considered not a good word. I mean, we could also get Ava. We get Ava for that one.
Oh, Ava, throw Ava a job. Just get all the people from these like all the like lower tiered cast members and put them in this real movie with Chad Michael Murray, and you got yourself a movie. I mean, Deadly Run was my title. It's kind of a boring title, but
yeah, that's it. Like, that's the title, Deadly Run. Why not? Yeah. All right, so that's the question, because Deadly Run, I think, would be a great title, except do they want to do titles now where they can do sequels without using numbers? Right, so it's like Deadlier Run, or like I guess that's what you could call it, right? You could call it Deadlier Run, right? Deadliest Run, it could be a trilogy, right? Deadly Run. Yeah.
And Michael Murray. I think I would like Chad Michael Murray to be defeated in the first movie, and then you just get other people to like be his brother or something. But it would be Chad Michael Murray.
Right, we play the part.
He plays all three parts, but he'd be defeated each time.
Yes.
I mean, because I'm kind of picturing like a Castle Van Dien vibe.
Van Dien would be a great baddie. So that's the question, right? Van Dien would be a great baddie as well. That's actually another name. Now that you mention it, that's thinking of who else could be. I mean, I don't know if we cross over and get CT from the I can't remember that Justin Lee movies, like bring in CT. But I mean the only well, I was also thinking of Gretzky's son.
What's like Josh Gretzky or
right? Yeah, whatever. He's a Detective Night movie, and that, what was the other one? He did the American Siege. He was Gretzky's son.
Yeah, American Siege. Dr. Keats. What was his name? You always remember his name. I don't.
Oh, right. Yes. So the poor man's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was it Keats? I think it was Keats.
I think it was. Well, no, because it was dependent on your subtitles. It could either be Keats or Geets, depending on the subtitles.
I'm still surprised how that was surprisingly good. Yeah, A Day to Die was just kind of stupid.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, we're going back in time a little bit on that one, but I mean, let's go back to January with Malky on the Skid.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. A couple Malkies to watch. You want to go back and Malky on Skids too. He was skiddier.
I know we've got it's funny, we've got like so many of these now that we can do. It's like, I mean, well, because so I guess we'll quickly we'll wrap up on Cash Out, at least, because I think like we said, I think it's more for the Travolta factor than anything, right?
Exactly.
Like that's what you're doing here with this one.
Better Travolta out there. I mean, like, this is like pretty low rent. I mean, like, basically anything else besides this.
Right, exactly. Dig into that Travolta vault and find something else before this one. But yeah, this one definitely it's of the movies we've watched, of the Randall Emmett Bonded Media Capital ones, this one's pretty low on the list. Yeah. It's like, it's weird because it doesn't have the junkiness of like an Operation Black Ops or some of like the real low budget ones that we've done.
Red Prophecies or
right? Yes, exactly. Rio, taking it Rio Bravo, or Gunfight at Rio Bravo, or
even what was that? Machine.
Right. Yes, the Machine. Yeah, with Michael Madsen. Yeah, or there's the one that the Don the Dragon Wilson one, Shepherd Code. That was really really junky.
That was junky.
like this has slightly better production values than that. It's like a little bit better budget than that, but it's like
But
nowhere near as
work.
good or as fun as a movie like this should be.
Exactly. It's not fun. I mean, like
Yeah.
you think they try to manufacture the fun, but because it's such a rip of Inside Man, you don't care. I checked out.
Right.
Unfortunately, I mean, if I got checked out, it's like okay, I'm done. I'm done.
No,
It's like
it's a check your phone movie. It really is, and it's
fun.
one of those ones where it's like you don't miss anything if you come back 5 minutes after. So,
See, that's not good.
yeah,
That's what I hear nowadays. That people are fighting. You know, these people who make like actual like good movies or programming, they're like fighting the phone.
yeah,
Like you have to keep people's attention. That's why I have a bad attention span. Or you have a bad attention span. It's
yeah,
like the movie's just not good. So back to the phone, time to play Toon Blast.
exactly,
You know, it's
exactly.
like the Toon Blast movie. It's
Yeah,
like I never
yeah.
played Toon Blast, but
No, I
it's
well, so
called.
I play I've got Marvel Puzzle Quest that I play on my phone. Match 3 game with Marvel characters. I started doing Duolingo. I started doing Spanish on Duolingo. Um, and
I thought
so
you said Dua Lipa for a second. I mean, like, is there a Dua Lipa app? That'd
no,
be amazing.
Duolingo.
Yeah, no, I know. I know you
Oh,
said
Dua
Dua Lipa.
Lipa, that would be great. Yes, that would be Dua Lipa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those that game is like Castle, whatever it's called. You ever see these ads? Like
Oh
some like
yes,
fat castle guy,
yes.
and like I forget the name, or whatever it's called, and like King's Quest or something. But it's actually Dua Lipa doing all that stuff.
Right.
That'd be kind of
Yes,
fun.
that would be amazing. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like last night, actually, when I was
Uh,
watching the Cruel Intention and Wild Things, I was tracking a bet that I had. I lost on the football game because the Bills, they had to just lose by less than 8.5 points and they couldn't do it. But anyway, at a certain point when I realized that wasn't happening, and the movie were kind of it was like I just kind of sat and watched the movie. And but even with the
right.
movie, sometimes I don't know about you, but sometimes it's like I start like checking IMDb on my phone to find
Well,
out
I
who
think
people
that's
are.
fair.
Yeah.
I mean, we're checking on Susan Ward because the in crowd is. I think I have a soft spot for the in crowd. I really
Yeah.
have seen it, but
Well, I discovered she retired in like
retired.
2013. Yeah, she doesn't do movies anymore. And then Layla Arcieri also retired. So
Oh my goodness, we're losing all
yeah.
these people.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they're just quitting. Which I guess eventually maybe it's good probably to retire because you don't want Emmett showing up with his scroll to like
Ah,
take your stuff.
I'm surprised that Susan Ward is retired. I mean, she hasn't been a Emmett, or maybe she has. I mean, she's in a movie called Toxic, which has Tom Sizemore and Master P. And I would like to rewatch that. And Corey Large.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of somebody for our Texas Battle No Guglielmi movie, Corey Large would be
oh,
great for that.
that'd be great. And also, did you? I think I sent you that update from Deadline.com that Aaron Eckhart's going to be a new garbage. I think it's called Scorpions or something.
Hmm.
And Corey Large is a producer. So it's like, okay, I think
Yeah.
Aaron Eckhart's kind of gone full circle to the garbage.
Right, and that's just perfect. That's perfect for
Yeah.
our two. Yeah. So yeah, we could
I mean,
definitely
like
do
when that
that.
comes out, and he has a new one coming out called Classified. Aaron Eckhart. Did I show you
Hmm.
the trailer for that? It looked pretty good actually, but the Tim Roth aspect, he looked really bored and uninterested. It's like that's hilarious.
Yes.
Like, yeah, Aaron Eckhart, yeah, he's evil, or he's the hero, I'm the villain.
Yeah.
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 It's like that's hilarious. I mean,
Yeah.
it, it's supposed to come out October 22nd. It's
Right.
his
Well,
pay on demand,
yeah.
classified.
It's a Roll Rene film.
Yes, and we've seen him. He's done a lot of stuff that we've seen.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he's always banging
yeah,
his head. So it'll be interesting. I think it'll be interesting to see what we get here.
yeah, it should be a good one. I mean, like, it's amazing how fast and how quickly that Aaron Eckhart has fallen off.
Hmm.
Because now I think this is what. So I'm gonna count this as I'm counting Scorpion as a movie he's making. So
Yeah.
he's made the Bricklayer, and he did uh what's classified, and he's the Chief of Station.
Chiefs of
He's
Station.
all the
Yeah.
same movie. And then Scorpion, and then I guess I would count Light. I would count Rumble in the Dark. Or you ever hear that movie? He's a punch fighter as Bella Thorne.
Oh, right. Yes, I think that one's on Tubi, right?
Yeah, I'm counting that. Yeah, it's on Tubi. I still haven't watched it yet, but I'm counting that too. So it's kind of interesting that he's fallen off
Yeah.
so fast. I love it though, because it's just funny. Like, oh,
Yes, exactly.
you're in the garbage pile.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love it. It's like like Daryl Mulrooney took forever to get to the garbage pile. And Eckhart just like, boop, you're there.
Yeah. It seems like these low budget actioners, they've accepted Eckhart much more than it took them to accept Dermot Mulrooney. I think that was the
Yeah,
thing.
it was
Yeah.
such a fast turnaround for Eckhart. That's like, it's kind of just interesting to watch his career kind of fall off like that. I mean, all he does now is making these straight to videos. And there's all these like goofy where he's like a CIA agent, like on the edge.
Yeah.
It's like, did you watch The Bricklayer? I mean, it's like,
No, I haven't seen it yet. I've been meaning to. So I'm gonna do Chief of Station next because I'm going to in October we're inducting Jesse V. Johnson into the Hall of Fame. So I'm gonna
oh,
do
fantastic.
Chief of Station for his induction
That'd be great.
movie. Yeah, so that'll be that one. But yeah, then the Bricklayer will probably do that one after that one. Yeah, I got to catch up on my Eckharts for sure.
Yeah, I need to watch Rumble. I mean, I watched a lot of that card this year.
Yeah,
So I could use a little break. But I mean, he keeps making them. I'll watch them. They come to Hulu or Tubi.
yeah.
Tubi. But I'll watch Rumble in the Dark soon. I mean, like, he's doing a punch fighter. Look at this. It's
I
like,
know you look at the cover and it's just like he's got the fists up and it's
yeah.
almost 2 hours. I think that's why I stayed away from it.
Oh, it's two. I didn't see the runtime. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
That's
an hour 56. Yeah,
that's a
so
little long there, Aaron.
I mean, I don't know what you're doing for 2 hours for a punch movie, punch fighter with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got Bella Thorne too. That's right. I think you mentioned. I don't know if you,
Yeah,
yeah,
Belle Thorne and Marianne Jean Baptiste. Oh,
yeah,
fancy, huh?
yes, yeah. So
And
it's
it's
yeah,
like,
it's gonna be it looks interesting. I mean, 2 hours. It is hard. It's hard to say like, oh, I'm gonna do. I mean, granted, that's only 5 minutes more than Red Right Hand, which we just did.
I know.
So yeah, so you know it.
Exactly. For a movie like that, I'll get to it. I mean, I just need a small Eckhart break. I just watched
Yes.
Chief of Station about a month ago.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
Maybe
you
more
can't load up on too much Eckhart. I don't think.
because I think I did. No, I can't do it. I need a break. Maybe like somewhere in October or November, I'll get to it. Do you make anything else? I mean, we should probably go to our spotlight of fight in our upcoming ones.
Yeah, well, maybe it's a good segue
Yeah,
here because we mentioned Stephen Dorff, and Stephen Dorff is
sure.
in our spotlight on a fight, which is the
Yeah,
end fight
yeah.
in Blade, which again is playing here in Philadelphia. I'm going to be seeing it at the theater here in Philadelphia, which I'm excited to do. It's been 25 years, I guess, since last saw it in
No,
the theater.
more than
Um,
5 years.
98, right? 98, and so now it's
Too long.
2024, so it's 26 technically. Yeah, so I mean, this end fight scene, it starts, to lead up to the fight scene, right? Is that we've got our hero Blade just taking out a bunch of vampires on his way,
Yeah.
and it's like
So
the sword. It's like kind of this thing like he's throwing the sword, catching it, and stabbing people. It's kind of like really like well choreographed, but really fun kung fu.
yeah, really good. Well done.
Yeah. And so then he gets to the end fight with Steven Dorff. So here's Dorff, and he's thinking,
Frost.
right? Yeah, he's there. He's at the
Great name, by the way.
yeah. Yeah, he's been yeah. Actually let me pull up my Blade my Blade IMDb page here. Yeah, so I mean he's there, and like you said, Deacon Frost. He confronts him in this big chamber. Oh, the other thing too, of course, is that Chris Christopherson just passed, and he
Yeah,
is in this movie. So we're talking about this
yeah.
the day after Chris Christopherson passed
That's
away.
sad. He's gone. I didn't know. I didn't know he was 88 years old. By the way, I know he's that high.
Right.
Yeah, he looks
Yeah,
pretty good for it.
yeah, because he was big into the Greenwich Village folk music scene, if you can believe that. So that gives you a sense, right? If he's born in 36, that was like in the early 60s. So he would have been, yeah, he would have
Yep.
been in his mid 20s at that time.
I will say this: he's in a movie that's definitely, I hear, it's definitely crud. Chris Christopherson, which was Lords of the Street. It also has DMX. I never had a chance to watch it. I hear it's pretty low rent for Chris Christopherson standards.
I imagine it would be.
And it's like I never got around to that one. But then it's like, oh yeah, oh he died. I'm sorry. Oh, Lords of the Street. That's the person. That's the person I thought I was Lords of the Street.
It's what happens with
But
us. Like I was saying to Scott Murphy all night. He's actually when we're doing Seagal, is that with the hockey playoffs last year with the Stanley Cup Finals, like the last game was the game 7, and Imelda Staunton was doing this like verbose like English accent read about how important the game was, and I was like
yeah,
the first thing I thought I was like, oh, she was in Shadow Man with Steven
yeah,
Seagal. It's like
that's hilarious. That we both thought the same thing there. It's like, oh yeah, what's the first junky thing I can think of that you're in?
Right.
Oh, Shadow Man.
Shadow Man, exactly.
What she said she hated filming it, and that's hilarious. So,
Yes.
like,
Well, right, because she found out she wasn't shooting with him. So yeah, I mean,
yeah,
Lords of the Street, you mentioned it. It's on Tubi right now, and it's like an hour and a half. So I think for people, if you want to, there's plenty of great Christopherson out there that you could watch to celebrate his life. But this might be a fun way to do it as well, to
yeah,
watch Lord of the Streets with DMX, and I mean, who also we've unfortunately lost as well. So
yeah. We're losing everyone from Lords of the Street. I mean, like, this is not good.
yeah,
It's like, so,
no. I know
but
Lisa
yeah,
Arnold, who played Myrtle. Hopefully, she's still with us. Yeah.
and we're back to our fight, right? So,
Right. So okay. So he confronts him in the chamber, and he thinks like, okay, I'm going to take this guy down pretty easy, right? Because he's Stephen Dorff. He doesn't look like he's that imposing, and they do some sword fu, right? They're kind of
yeah,
slashing each other, and uh, Wesley Snipes cuts him in half, right? Just
right.
kind of and they do really samurai kind of stuff. It's like he kind of runs with the sword behind him, and they're kind of really making it look like samurai stuff. And he cuts him in half, and he thinks like, okay, that should be good enough.
I'll get him. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take that, Frost. Oh,
yeah. But then the blood in Stephen Dorff connects him back to himself, and he's like reconnected. And so then he's like, he cuts an arm off, and the same thing. The blood reconnected, and so he's having trouble beating him. And of course, they're fighting really fast too, because they're like so strong and powerful. So it's like all these moves that are coming really fast, and it's like Wesley Snipes can't figure out how he can defeat him. But the choreograph of these fights, I mean, Wesley Snipes' martial arts is fantastic. I think he didn't quite get enough credit, I think, for how great of a martial artist he is.
and we're lucky to even have this fight in a movie. It's just like, because it's a fun one. It gives you what you want. It gives you the right
Yeah.
fight, which is Deacon Frost versus Blade. You wait the whole movie for it, and it
Yes.
delivered.
Yeah. Well, and then the end of the fight is so Wesley Snipes has these little capsules of this liquid
Yes.
that,
Yeah.
and they're like in syringes, and so he pulls them down where he's got them stashed. He's pulling them down, and he starts like firing them at Stephen Dorff. And of course, like the first one, Stephen Dorff grabs are no big deal. But then he starts like throwing them at him, and getting, and then like there's like one final last one that he's got to get him with. Because he's like loaded him up with these things, right? Like he's just one more for the coup de grace, and he kicks it at him, like karate
That's
kicks it at him,
awesome.
which was like it was like something straight out of Hong Kong action,
Yeah.
right? I mean, just beautiful stuff.
Really well, well done. It's killerly well done. That's terrible
Yeah.
way. But it's like,
But I think for people who were wondering why we geeked out so much about seeing him in Deadpool and Wolverine,
yes.
just go on YouTube and watch this fight scene, and that's enough to tell you why when we saw him show up there as Blade, why we were loving it so much.
Oh, he was great, and I wish there a little more resolution on that character, but Deadpool Wolverine, that's okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
But it was so cool to see him. It was like, that's awesome. And then that bit where Deadpool says, "I thought you were retired," and then it's like, retarded, retired. See, that was perfectly well delivered by Brian Reynolds. The actor retired there.
Yeah.
I just laugh at that. It was brilliantly done.
Yes. Well, because the thing was, you saw Deadpool Wolverine before I did,
Uh,
and you knew this, that you knew the Blade scene, and you knew I was going to love it. And you were like, I'm not telling you anything. I'm not going to let you know.
yeah.
And yeah, and I saw it a week. I think I was telling Freddie Young, Full Moon Reviews, I saw that movie a week earlier than I planned on it, because I started hearing people on the street talk about it. Like I like a group of kids one time, I passed them and they were talking about the movie, and I was like, I'm gonna find out. Like I'm gonna get spoiled on things. And I think if I had been spoiled on that Blade appearance, the movie wouldn't have been as big of a hit as it is when he walks in like that. It is the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's perfectly. It's that slow motion. Whoa,
Yeah.
it's Blade. He looks exactly the same, Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
And that's just fantastic. I really hope that, I know they're making a newer Blade, but it looks like it's not even being filmed yet, or if it's being
Right.
filmed very slow. And maybe they can get Snipes back somehow. Maybe like an after credit sequence, like, look, I'm back. You know.
Well,
So yeah, a very really well done fight. You don't get these fights many fights this anymore in these type of movies. What's the last like good fight scene we saw in a recent movie? I can't even think of one. So we have to go.
no.
You know, thankfully, you have a lot to choose from.
Yeah, I mean, what would be yeah, like if you think like recent, because like I was thinking like maybe like some of the fights in Captain America Winter Soldier, but that's almost 10 years ago as it is, right?
That was a great movie. I mean, that's a top Marvel movie for me. I mean, like it's just perfect. It has what you want the whole time. You got your evil Robert Redford.
Yes.
Fantastic movie. Or that's how that was the basis for a fake Cookie Monster movie.
Right, right. Yes.
That's how I based it. Robert Hydrox, played by Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Um,
Right. That was a previous no subject we did, and
yeah,
when we presented, because the way no subject works is if you haven't listened, I mean, hopefully
right.
you've heard some no subjects we've done. We present ideas to Ty's brother Brett, and when we presented the cookie idea, we discovered that your brother hasn't seen any of these Marvel movies. I don't
No,
think.
no. So I had to put it together, but I know you watched it, so it's perfect. Just picture Matt Damon as Robert Redford, as
Right.
Robert Hydrox,
Yes.
evil cookie magnet monster, and then the cookie monster's out for revenge or whatever. But it's done in a lighthearted way,
Yeah.
cookie origins.
Right.
But if you remember in Captain America: The Winter Soldier, where Mr. America he slides underneath that plane or whatever it is, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's what Cookie Monster does too. It was also like
Yes.
Cookie Monster, and this is live action, by the way. It's not animated. This is live
Right.
action.
Right. Live action guy in a Cookie Monster suit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. There's a cool, awesome slide. It is like martial arts.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's a great movie. I think I told you rewatched it this year, and I also rewatched Deadpool, the first one this year.
Yes, that's right. You were doing those rewatches. Yeah, those movies stand up too. They're just
Yeah, Deadpool's fantastic because you got your Ed Skrein,
yeah,
you got your Gina Carano, and it delivers what you want.
yeah.
That's all I want. What's another? I can't, like you said, we can't even think of a cool fight scene from these past, let's say, even 5 years. It's like I can't think of one.
No, because even like the newest John Wick movie, John Wick 4. I mean, he has a decent one. Oh, I guess he has some good ones with Donnie Yen, right?
Well, he doesn't really fight Donnie Yen.
No,
Like Donnie Yen is like hanging around fighting other people, right?
yeah, they have like one fight. Do they have to fight in the Japanese Continental?
Maybe my memory of that is just gone. But
No, maybe they didn't fight. You're right. Maybe they didn't. They kind of did some kind of a shoot. But you're right. I guess Marco's of War. I guess he fights Marco's of War, but that's not really him either because Donnie Yen's there too. And yeah,
well, he fought Scott Atkins.
that's
That was great.
right.
Yeah,
With
okay,
Scott Adkins in the fat suit. That's right.
yeah,
That was a good one.
that was good. That was well done. Killer's Game. There's the last movie we talked about in the
Yeah.
last podcast. It's not out on streamers yet because we can still kind of hang around. Maybe maybe not in the theaters, but probably being prepared for video on demand. But I'm hoping that's good still. A little worried
Yeah.
about it still, but got to mention Batista and Wysa in every episode now. Well, I'll just make that very quick. There we go. And then, so yeah, Blade Fight was good, and I think we have our next two movies. Right?
Well, so we're thinking of speaking of Killer's Game, right? It was what was the
King of Killers.
King of Killers? That's right. With
Dorff. Dorff is
with
back.
Dorfster's back. And it's also got Alamusi and Frank.
Yep.
We're gonna Fire Up the Grillo as well.
Back. Fire Up
Yeah.
That Grill.
So this was the one. I think this was the one we bumped, wasn't it? For
You bumped it. Yeah,
for
you bumped
Cash
it
Out.
For Cash Out. Because I thought, well, better watch Cash Out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So King of Killers is back. I see it's still on Tubi. I'll watch it soon.
Yeah.
And then the other movie I think we're talking about doing is Agent Recon, right? The new Chuck Norris movie.
Yes. Yes. That's a good point. Yes.
Looks like a sci-fi, but Chuck Norris. What the time he's been in a movie?
Yeah. With Mark Singer and yeah.
It's like,
And it's on Hulu, so I think
one Tubi, one Hulu.
yeah. And I mean, this might be our only chance to get Chuck Norris on here.
Good point. Just want to go back in time to his
Yeah. I mean, he's in his 80s. We were talking about Chris Christopherson. I mean, I think Chuck Norris is only 4 years younger than Chris. I think he was born 1940.
84 years old, Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I think he's born 1940. So, yeah. So yeah, this is probably our only chance to get some Chuck on the podcast here where we do these two movies. So yeah.
Wait, speaking of Chuck Norris and Wesley Snipes, didn't they have that ad that still pops up on TV, like the the workout ad.
Yes. Yeah.
I forget what it was like the muscle builder or something.
Right. Yes.
There's a different name than that. I also have, maybe it was a Christy Brinkley. It was a name. It was like it was
Yeah. I think it might have been Christy Brinkley. I think you're right. I
yeah,
think.
Snipes. Some of them got Snipes, and then Chuck Norris. It's like um oh yeah. So yeah, I think those are one. The next two should be fun. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this will be interesting. I think we lucked out with Red Right Hand. I don't think we've seen anything quite that. Cash Out has kind of been more like what we've been dealing with lately. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, we got to deal with another one. I am a little. Well, I think Agent Recon I'm the most worried about.
same. I'm yeah.
And Kill Kills a little bit too because I saw the trailer. It didn't really like. I went, but it still has Stephen Dorff and Frank Grillo. That
Right.
should be enough to kind of keep it afloat.
We
And also
we
Marie Andropoulos. I cannot pronounce that,
right.
but she does martial arts esque stuff. So it's like, I think it should be fine. It should probably be like Smoking Aces or one of these like assassin movies that we see a lot.
Yeah,
Killer's Game. Yeah.
I think the names are going to help. I mean, because that's the one thing we could say about Cash Out is at least the Travolta helped a bit, and so we've got a lot of different names that can help us out here. And Alain Moussi. So I think the director Kevin Grevioux. I think he's the one who did the Kickboxer sequel or Kickboxer kind of.
Yeah.
Oh no, maybe not. No, he's not a director. I was thinking he was a director, but he's not. So maybe it's the producer of these did the uh, I thought somebody involved with those. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of another movie. I'm thinking of the other one, right? It was well, there was another movie that he did that director directed. The Kickboxer one. It's not the King of Kick. It's something else that.
Well, I think he directed a Saw. I'm thinking different guy. He directed a Saw movie and he directed this movie Gina Carano. If I'm thinking of the same person.
I'm thinking of Jiu-Jitsu. That's the one.
Oh, Jiu-Jitsu. Okay,
yeah.
With Nicolas Cage.
Yes, exactly, and Tony Jaa. Yeah,
Tony Jaa.
it's Dimitri Logothetis. That's the director's
that's
name.
The guy who directed. Okay, I'm thinking someone else. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting confused here, but that's the one. Yeah, because I think we talked about maybe doing that one. But
what, Jitsu?
I thought so. I can't remember, or maybe not. Maybe we didn't. Maybe I think I don't even know. It was on Netflix for a little while. I think it's on Tubi now. But
well, I've seen Jiu-Jitsu because I do my Nicolas Cage life. I did watch Arcadian because my friend has AMC Plus for some reason.
Oh yeah,
so it was okay. I mean, if you like, it was okay.
That's right. That's what happened. I mentioned we didn't. The reason why Jiu-Jitsu didn't happen was because you'd already seen it. That's why.
I saw it.
That's right. Yeah. So that's why we left it off there. But yeah, I think I got that confused with this one we're going to be doing, King of the Killers, where yeah, it's not directed by the guy who did Jiu-Jitsu. It's somebody else completely.
I was thinking about Kickboxer. Vengeance. What's the one that has the Gina Carano and Batista? That's the first one, and then
The first one.
There's like Kickboxer Vengeance 2. It's kind of terrible.
Yeah,
or something like that. And it had
Retribution. Is it what? Yeah.
Yeah, and it had that huge guy, like that super meathead.
Oh, Retaliation. It's Retaliation is the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, it had that super meathead guy, like Christopher Lambert.
Yes. Yeah, it's like a half-hour fight scene where they're just spitting Hawaiian punch all over the place.
That's what we were saying. Yeah, I mean, wow. And also, it's like 2 hours long. It's like, I think it got a little restless there.
Yeah. Now they do have a new Kickboxer movie coming.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's I think it's supposed to be let me find his actor credits for Mr. Moussi. It's Kickboxer Armageddon. It's in pre-production now, so I think it's gonna have Atkins in it.
I'll take it if they can. That'd be great. I want to see Alain Moussi versus Scott Adkins.
Yeah, George St. Pierre's back. Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's. I don't know if it's going to be Adkins. I think maybe fighting. It looks like it might be Uriah Faber. I can't tell who the pictures of the. No, that's not Uriah Faber. Oh no, that's Moussi. He's just got a braided ponytail.
The ponytail on Batista when he plays Tong Po in the first one. That's just funny.
Yes,
I mean, that's hilarious. And then you have Mike Tyson in the other one. That's also funny. Yes. I love that Mike Tyson's doing these things. I mean, I wish he took a little too long, but he's doing them now, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I agree.
You gotta watch China Sailor Moon. Did you watch that yet?
I did. Yes, that fight
Uh,
scene with the Seagal double is the most beautiful thing committed to film.
yeah, and Mike Tyson was hilarious as like Baja or anything. He had a funny name. It was like Moon
Right.
or something.
Yes.
It was like it was. He was. I'm surprised how much. It was Kabla. It was like Kaba. I think it was
Yeah.
Kaba. The amount of screen time he got from Mike Tyson was surprisingly high.
Yes.
And the plus is funny. And also the Chinese propaganda part, which is we were all falling on the floor laughing.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? Like when there's that scene where they're trying to get past some rebels, and they fly the Chinese flag, and it's like, oh, it's a beautiful, it's a beautiful thing. It's a
that was brilliant. And then if you watch the credits, it says propaganda manager.
yeah.
That's in the credits.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. The Seagal has going through Seagal's DTV films for people out there who haven't really, get onto Tubi and just anything that's on there that's a Seagal movie, you should watch it because every one of them has just something to them. But China Salesman, it's a long one, so you may want to avoid it. But
No.
trust me, it's worth it. Just get it out of your system. Just do it once. It'll be worth it.
It's worth it. It was. I mean, we were avoiding it for a while, and then we finally got to it this past year, or this year, I mean.
Yeah.
And it was just fun. It's like, okay, now once you get the fight scene, you got just the propaganda, you just got the funny idea of the plot itself, where it's about 3G phone lines.
Yes.
This is funny. I mean, it's just like Diamond Cartel was from the same people.
Yes, right. With only not directed by Dolph, unfortunately. Was that the one that Dolph? Oh no, that's Diamond Dogs. I'm thinking of Diamond Dogs. Diamond Cartels. I still got to see that one. That's one that's like
you got to watch that.
Yeah, I've been needing to do that one for years. It's been sitting in my Tubi queue. I can't. I got to stop procrastinating on that. Maybe for my December when I'll get it in there for December.
Yeah, I know I watched Diamond Dogs recently, the Dolph Lundgren movie. My memory is like I watched it. Remember he has a shaved head and he
yes.
talks to some like government agents. That's all I remember. I mean,
I think there's like some kind of mystical Chinese thing. Like they find an artifact.
I think they're also supposed to make a sequel. I can't remember. It's on the top of my head. It was supposed to be called Tumbling Dice. Do you remember this?
I think so.
It was supposed to be a sequel to it, and they never made it because decades never made it. But I thought that was okay. I mean, Diamond Dogs. I mean, it's better than Missionary Man. If you want to say that's a weaker Dolph Missionary Man.
Yeah. It's a weird Dolph Diamond Dogs. It's like you said, he's got the shaved head. He directs it. I think I think the original director fell out, so he wasn't even planning on directing it, but he just had to direct it.
Directed.
Right. What happened to my hair? It's bad haircut. I might as well just buzz it all off. I can't.
How could you do your impression? It's just funny. It's really funny.
Yeah. Well, because the thing about the Dolph impressions, like I kind of base mine more off of that Agent Red, whereas yours is like the perfect version of the Richard Quest interview.
Yeah. And would you still? And let's say let's Hasselhoff put it back up. It's been like scrubbed. It's there, but you can't look at the video.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Yeah, I think they're saving money on server space. Yeah.
They're still doing that. It's just like I want to see the Quest video again.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's amazing. It's like, they're just, it's good old Zaslav. Well, I guess we'll see what happens with the new Superman movie in January.
I go straight to HBO Max.
Yeah, exactly.
He will do that if he could. But every episode we do, we talk about either Wrong Side of Town or Zaslav.
Right, exactly.
They're always up to something, those two things.
I know, exactly. One of them.
I find a new move that Maurice Crump did, or Zaslav did something stupid about basketball.
Right, right, exactly. Right, those are the two key points we have to hit in every episode, right? You gotta have if you've got your bingo card for the episodes when you're on. Those are two slots, right? They got to get checked off, right? Wysot and David Zaslav.
Zaslav and maybe a Dolph impression, maybe a few impressions. It's like which one? I think we did them all today.
We hit them all, because we hit Stallone when you were talking about Dina Meyer.
Yeah, and we hit Trump right away. So
Trump was right off the bat. Owen Wilson, we got Owen Wilson in.
Dolph.
Dolph.
Van Damme.
You did Van Damme.
You want to do some impressions before we go?
Yeah, I think, well, all right, the one we missed, right? We didn't do Statham, right? Not mine. We didn't do.
Oh yeah. Where'd you get this number? It's like
It's the beekeeper.
Just like it's every.
All right, there we go. Now we're done. Now we hit the ball.
Yeah.
Well, as we're wrapping up, Ty, anything you wanted to plug?
Yeah, sure. We got comeuppance.reviews.net, the website. That's still up. And we're gonna post Prepare to Die soon, very soon. And then we have the podcast. We just we posted an episode of Richard Pierce. He's back, the writer of Sector 4 Extraction. Lots to talk about that. So
Yeah.
we just dived right in. So, and then Ty Comeuppance on the Twitter X. I don't really post much on there. Ty Action Rocks is Instagram. I'm gonna post Beyond Darkness very soon. So,
Oh, nice.
Italian horror movie.
Yeah.
And I did watch Deadly Rivals, another tape that has Andrew Stevens.
Oh, nice.
And unfortunately, it wasn't very good, but the last like 5 to 10 minutes were okay. Whoops. But and I did watch Fugitive Rage also, which I'll post soon. It's a Federal and Ray movie.
Nice.
Has Ross Hagen and Wendy Schumacher. It's like a very low rent La Femme Nikita.
That sounds amazing. I might have to, I gotta find that. That sounds beautiful.
Yeah,
Fugitive Rage.
Fugitive. It wasn't that. It's low rent in the beginning, and it slowly gets kind of bet overall because it's like, okay, the movie knows what it is. You know, it's kind of crud. So it's just like, okay, you kind of give in to the crudness of Fugitive Rage.
Exactly. It's not on any of the streamers, but I can see. If it's available.
Maybe I was in my.
It's got Tim Abel in it from So
Tim Abel?
He's from the base, exactly. Yeah, so he's he had mentioned he found on Twitter that I'd posted some of his movies, and he commented. He's like, he mentioned something. I can't remember one of those. He had like a story behind the scenes on one of the movies, and I was like, oh, I love hearing that stuff. He's like, I've got so many stories, Matt, and I was like, oh man, okay, all right, well, yeah. So he might have stories about Fugitive Rage. He might. So if you post it, he might know. He might have something. I don't know.
I'll tag him. I'll make sure to tag him because I tag him. Something about the bass or something, and then I got everyone for that one, as I always say. Yeah. Tricky, Tascos, and Tim Abel on all the bass. Because what a movie that is. Bass 2 not as good, but how can you beat the bass? You got your Otto Jr. But it's just like
it's like you're swapping out. Abel as a great baddie, it's Dacascos is a great hero, and Paula Tricky as like kind of the woman on the inside helping him out. You swap all that out for Antonio Sabato Jr.
kind of lessens the impact. It does have Malibu in it, the second one. So
that's right. Yeah, which that always Malibu helps. Yeah.
I think James Remar.
Yes, that's right. He's in bass too. That's right. Yes.
That you just can't beat the bass. It's just not possible. Let's just say there was no bass one, and that was the bass one, Sabato Jr. Yeah, and everybody could good actually, but unfortunately, you have to compare yourself to the bass one. So
no, that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, Remar always helps. Yuji Okamoto, I forgot that he was also in the bass too. But Markel Lester, he's Markel Lester, Showdown a little Tokyo Commando. So it's like you give a movie like that a little bit more, you cut it more slack. But it's just unfortunately it's not the same movie.
I mean, like he has those three, right? You can just rest on those laurels. The bass, Showdown Tokyo Commando.
Yes, exactly. Right, exactly.
But no, he did make White Rush, right? That's the movie with Judd Nelson. I don't remember that being like that good, but I remember like the title's kind of cool, White Rush. And Judd Nelson, I hear he's kind of a wacky kind of guy. Yeah. He should be at these conventions. It's like I give him Conflict of Interest. You ever see that one?
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah,
weird movie.
I would like Relentless. If you had a VHS copy of Relentless and get Judd Nelson to sign that, that'd
be great.
But another one Lester did, I forgot, was Stealing Candy. He directed Stealing Candy.
Right. Coolio.
Yes. Coolio and a Baldwin brother.
Yeah, Coolio, Daniel Baldwin. Yeah. And Alex why did I know this by the time? And again, Alex Cord
Yes,
from Airwolf.
that's right.
Is he in that?
I
I'm
think
convinced.
so.
Did you like Stealing Candy? You had a review for that, right?
I haven't reviewed it yet. I haven't seen it for. I forgot it's got Wincott
Oh,
in it as well. It's sitting in my Tubi queue because I've been meaning to give it. Oh, it's actually not on Tubi anymore. It's on Plex, but I've been meaning to give it a rewatch for the site.
okay.
Because yeah, I mean, it's got all kinds of Paul Provenza. I forgot Paul Provenza, old comedian who was on Empty Nest.
Yes, Empty Nest. We all love Richard Mulligan. He never did any action movies.
No, no, he
You know,
should have.
Frank Sinatra never did really action movies. I know I'm going right to him for some reason, but I know he's on an episode of Magnum PI. Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
He's like an old cop buddy of Magnum. It's like, wait, he's older. He could be doing these action things. Like, no, it's like we missed out on Frank Sinatra. I think
Right,
he
right.
needed like his death wish.
Oh yes. Oh, he did. Yeah. Well, so did you hear this? That he was originally going to be cast in Die Hard
I think I heard
because
that'd be amazing.
yeah, because the book that it's based off of, it's the sequel to this movie, the book called the Detective that he did in '68. So he owned the rights. He owned the movie rights, and so he had the right of first refusal. So they went to him. He was like 71 at the time, and he's like, because the original book is supposed to be an older person anyway. It's supposed to be like the guy supposed to see his daughter. But yeah, so he had right of first refusal. So yeah, can you imagine if that um, if yeah, if they had got
Yeah, with it, that'd be amazing. I mean,
yeah,
also Burt Reynolds was going to also maybe be in Die Hard.
right, yeah.
That maybe worked out. I mean, we all love Bruce Willis in Die Hard, but I know you just watched those for your podcast, right?
I did, yeah. It is amazing, like the first Die Hard, how that movie. I just like I can just always watch it. Like the other ones are like solid action movies,
Mm.
but it's like for me, when I compare the other two, 2 and 3 to the first one, it's like they just feel like solid action movies. Where the first Die Hard, just such to me is like such a classic that um, it's like such a another level of action movie that
It's like the first of its kind. It's kind of interesting to watch it. It's like,
yeah,
and you see all the, I guess you could say knockoffs of it, and it's like, oh, you can never beat the original Die Hard. But I will
yeah.
say that whatever happened to Argyle, I mean, like that's my only flaw of Die Hard One. Like Argyle, the limo driver. Hello.
Or because he drives them home, but I had heard that he was supposed to have more scenes in the film and they cut them
Oh,
out.
no wonder
So
he kind of went missing for a good portion.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, he was supposed
But,
to do more in the movie. He was supposed to like actually go and fight some of the other beyond just Clarence
oh,
Gilliard. Yeah. But they
no
they cut those scenes out, I guess, or they didn't end up shooting them. There's one or the other, but they'd planned to have him in it more.
because there was this amazing gap of no Argyle. And
Right.
then
Yeah. Yeah.
completely forgot about him throughout the whole movie after that.
Right. Well, I
I mean,
love too that like there's like a shooting on the 30 something floor and Argyle's in the basement
yeah.
and Bruce Willis is like, looking at the window going, Argyle, tell me you heard that and you're calling the police. You're calling the police. It's like, how is he gonna hear that? Like, and then it shows him like he's listening to loud music. Like that's why he wouldn't hear the gunshots, as opposed to the fact that there's like 30 stories of concrete between him and the cellar there or the base or the garage or whatever.
And I did kind of, I liked your kind of mini Bruce Willis impression there. It's like, Argyle.
Right, yes. Tell me, come on, tell me you're yeah. My favorite is, and I know we're kind of closing up at the end there, but my favorite is when the tank thing shows up and Rickman's like, having them shoot it with the rocket launcher, and Willis gets on the walkie, he's like, all right, Hans, you made your point. Let him pull back. Let him pull back. I'll take it under advisement. Hit him again, and it's like,
Yeah, that's
you made your point, Hans.
Hans, yeah, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you saw all three of them, so you must have kind of like a mini Willis impression. It's like,
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's
good though. It's good.
yeah, when you see them, because I there was a little bit of a break, I think, between 2 and 3 when I was watching them. I think it was like I watched one, or I did them on different days, so it wasn't like with like for example with Cash Out and Red Right Hand where I did them back to back. But yeah, it was like my brain was definitely Willisitized, and yeah,
Yeah,
I had a lot of Willis on the brain.
understandable. I mean, I wish he was feeling better, but he make more of these weird movies. But that's okay. We have replacements right now.
Yes, exactly,
But
exactly.
we'll end that nice note that we got these fun Bruce Willis ones forever. So
Yes. Right. We'll always have Die Hard. We'll always have Pulp Fiction. We'll always, right, exactly. We're gonna always have that stuff. And yeah, he just, yeah. When you see him in that first Die Hard, it is definitely like a sense of like, wow, yeah, this guy. Because one of the things I read is, I know we're kind of going over time, but that people were so used to him moonlighting that when they saw the trailer, they thought it was a comedy. And then when they watched, they were like, "Oh wow, no, he did a great job as the action lead." But yeah, because people just weren't used to people who did comedy and dramas and stuff like that doing action movies back then. So now it's like they all do it, you know?
Exactly. And also an underrated Bruce Willis movie is Hostage. If you
Oh
want,
yes, yes.
I don't know if you've seen that recently, but my friend watched it recently. Hey, it's pretty good.
It's been a
And then,
long time since I've seen Hot, but I think it was when I caught on TV. But yeah, that was, that
that's a good one. I mean, like people kind of forget Hostage. Tears of the Sun. I mean, we could do Bruce Willis stuff all day, but
yeah.
that was, I guess. But I think it's like it was after that. I didn't really do a lot of like Hostage type stuff. I'm trying. Oh well, 16 Blocks. If you like that one, we should probably let people go.
Yeah, but you're right. Like I think we forget how long of a period of influence he had. Because I think we only think of these DTV actioners, and it's
Right.
like no, he lasted a long time. He was,
Like,
Bruce Willis was a big deal for a long period of time.
and then unfortunately, he just kind of made a deal with the scroll, and then look at that from 2011 to even last year when the last Detective Night movie. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm gonna do one quick look, and then we'll let people go. If we look at yes, I see they go right to the straight to video stuff nowadays. Oh, poor Assassin. Remember we watched Assassin?
Yeah, the last one he did.
The
Yeah.
last was okay. Okay, so if we go back, okay, right, Surrogates. Did you ever see that one?
I didn't. I remember it being out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was in the theater, right?
and then
Oh,
well, Sin City, that was a big hit for him.
yeah.
And then
And also Looper, right? Looper
yeah,
was
maybe
that.
I give that another chance. I mean,
Oh, that's right. He did the Death Wish remake in
oh,
2018.
that's right. Yes. So hey, Eli Roth, go right back to Eli Roth before we get to the end of the episode.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we got to come full circle on that. Yeah.
But we should let people go. But,
Yeah. Well, no. So yeah. So we'll let everybody know. So next month in November we'll be coming back with King of the Killers
right.
and I'm already blanking on the next movie.
Agent Recon.
Agent Recon. That's right. The Chuck Norris movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't call him
Yes.
Chuck simply. Chuck's and Norris and and fry up some Grillo.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna fire up the Grillo and have some ground chuck roast with
Perfect
yeah.
end there. Perfect.
All right, excellent. Yeah, well, thank you again for being on, Ty. This was another fun conversation.
Thanks for having me on again. Hopefully, you don't drive two people crazy of all our why stop talk and all that stuff. But how can you not love it?
No, exactly. It's always good. It's always good. Yeah. And
Thanks
thank you everyone for listening. We'll be back soon. Bye bye.
Bye bye.